Now it works. It works. We're live.
For fuck's sake.
OBS crashed. I don't know if we went live while it was crashed. No idea. But hello and welcome to another excellent smooth start of a new session of Polymorphed D&D. So welcome. Hey. Don't know if we have any announcements to make, except that our boy Fritz can finally be heard properly because we fixed the microphone settings.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My internet might be complete shit today. It hasn't been nice to me
Don't
to
worry,
any point today.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like we're set up for success here. But yeah, we don't really have any new content for the channel since last time.
We're still working on another. We're still working on another recap. So
yeah,
That
will be coming out at some point.
it's still in development hell.
If you haven't already, go back and check out our last recap of the first arc of this campaign. It is definitely worth it if you have 20 minutes to spare. But yeah, I think that's about it. So let's just go straight to the recap of last session. We started last session in the direct aftermath of Isidor's and Dara's death. Arisa went on the offensive and blamed Storm primarily as the leader of the group for not being responsible enough and essentially letting Dara die. Storm argued back, saying that everybody knew the risks going into this and that he only ever promised that the group would succeed with defeating Isidor and never that everybody would make it out. Tazio also got involved a bit, siding with Storm, trying to argue that if Arisa wants to blame him, she should also blame Dara, Tazio, pretty much everybody who opted to not go for the Sword of Evangeline. And things escalated up to a point when Storm managed to pretty much convince Arisa to wait with the conversation until after Isidor had been properly finished, as Arisa now noticed that Isidor was nowhere to be seen, neither alive nor dead. And so you as a group headed out to seek out his resting place, which you had been informed about in the planning phase of this mission. Upon leaving, you left Private Crayer with Dara's body in the royal bedchambers and headed out, where you soon found some sort of elven man sneaking around trying to get into the throne chamber. As you approached him, he introduced himself as Silas, the best ranger and the second best cook, pretty much in the entire Dawn world. He had come to seek glory by claiming, he came to claim the glory of slaying Isidor, and so you joined forces with a common goal in mind, and headed onwards through the grand hallway of the Palace of Enderthal. You managed to make your way by eliminating wave after wave of the patrolling guards until the first floor had been completely cleared, over to the hallway where the safe room that Isidor is hiding in was located, and you found it to be guarded by the vampire woman wearing plate armor that you'd seen riding on a bat previously. You engaged in battle, and the vampire fled further into the resting place, where you also realized that Emeron, the paladin of Vir, was also within this resting place guarding Isidor. However, apparently under the effect of Isidor's charm effect. Storm managed to get himself into trouble, almost getting killed, but at the last second got turned into a gigantic crab by Tazio, and havoc ensued as this raving crab went loose in the room and grappled both the vampire lady and Emerin. You then eventually managed to deal with both of them. You killed the vampire, and Filmar, of all people, managed to knock Emerin unconscious, taking him alive. And so, with the calm after the battle, Storm, or Crabstorm, lifted the lid of the sarcophagus within which Isidore lay, and as a group, you totally Julius Caesared him, just stabbing him and slashing him in unison until there was nothing but gore that turned to dust left behind. Following this battle, Arisa continued to confront Storm and Tazio, refusing to let them go. Silas took this opportunity to sneak off and find the kitchen, where he started preparing some excellent meals, proving to the world that he is perhaps indeed the second best chef. The arguments continued, however, and went so far as for Arisa to essentially threaten to kill them if they tried anything stupid. There was sort of an agreement made, not quite finalized, but a vague agreement to be cooperative, and Arisa let them go with the condition that she could watch as Storm and Tazio broke into the vault. You headed up towards the bedchambers along with Fritz and Filmar, where you discovered the agitated Crayer, who kept rambling about how Dara's body had just vanished in front of her eyes and left nothing but this broken, perfectly round sapphire behind. Storm pretty much figured things out and realized that this must have been the Bluedale sapphire, and that it actually did something after all. So Storm and Tazio, mostly Tazio, did use the thermite powder to melt a hole in the floor of the throne chamber, and tied some ropes to climb down. It was around this time that Arisa felt this familiar tugging sensation trying to pull her towards the outcast hideout, where she took off to. In the meantime, Storm and Tazio descended into the vault and found that it contained about 30 million gold and platinum bars. Arisa fled from some guards and made her way over to the outcast hideout, where she found Dara, of all people, alive, albeit very tired and exhausted. And as Storm and Tazio climbed out of the hole in the vault, they found an owl, looking awfully familiar and resembling Florp, Dara's familiar.
I thought that was in at the door.
Oh yeah.
When we headed out. Yeah, nice.
It was when you climbed up.
Okay.
You found it, but I don't know.
Okay, not the doors. Okay.
Well, like it's kind of sat in the doorway, but like you can see it from
Nice.
where you climb up. So that's what I meant.
Perfect.
So with that, we are going to start this with Arisa. You've got yourself back to the outcast hideout, and you see your wife sitting there, probably about 20-25 feet ahead of you, eyes closed in a meditative pose that you recognize vaguely as either her sleeping or focusing on controlling her familiar.
Arisa just stands there for a moment, a bit stunned, doesn't believe her eyes. But after what feels like an eternity, but in reality is but a few seconds, she rushes over and drops to the floor in front of Dara, and in one fell swoop just holds her
Okay.
and starts crying.
Dara, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't see or hear when you're looking
I'm
at the
blind
floor.
and deaf, but I can.
You can feel, I know that.
Yeah,
So,
I can feel it hugs me.
you see Storm and Tazio come climbing up from a hole in the throne room, and right as you see this, and they look at Florp, you feel somebody grab you, and you're kind of like pulled out of your concentrating on the spell, and you see Arisa now on her knees, just holding you in a tight embrace.
Crying.
Yeah. A little bit shocked. I help her. Arisa, are you alright? What happened?
What do you mean, dummy? Are you alright? You were dead.
Yes, I know. I was.
What happened? Are you alright?
Well, it seems that destiny really did intervene.
What do you mean? You're making no sense.
I don't think I can make this make sense, but the sapphires that you saw Storm forcefully operate into his tail.
You're talking about these, and Arisa pulls out the shattered blue gem.
Yep.
Yeah, one of those. Apparently, I was given the choice: return back to life and fulfill my destiny, or not. I was given a second chance.
By who? What? You're making no sense.
I don't know what, but must have been some ancient deity or something.
It doesn't matter. You're here with me now. Thank God. Arisa more tightly grips Dara.
But more importantly, are you all right? What happened to Isidore? Is he defeated?
He's dead. There's no way he will ever rise again. Not after what he did to you.
Thank God.
Well, anyway.
Just a quick.
At this point, Arisa starts actually examining Dara for
You have
wounds.
the vampire bites in my neck still,
No,
or is
you're like I briefly mentioned it last time, but you're perfectly physically healed up. You
Okay.
just look very exhausted. Like you're at one hit point, not because you're like bruised and.
Oh, I
beaten.
was healed during that session, so I told
yeah, but even then, like when you started off, it's mostly just that like you kind of feel like you've lost a lot of blood, but there aren't really any visible anything. There's nothing visibly wrong with
So
you
Arisa
except
finds
for
nothing when
exhaustion.
examining
No,
Dara.
no,
She looks fatigued.
definitely. Like
You should lie down. You look like you've been through hell.
Look, it's all right. I was sending out Florp to see if everything was all right. And it seemed...
Where is he? Is he back?
Well, he was just about to find Storm and Tazio when you hugged me, so I believe I should at least tell them that I'm all right.
Very well. I'll stay by you until you feel better.
Thank you. And I want to go back into my
Trance.
okay. So Storm and Tazio, you've climbed up and you see this owl sitting there looking at you, and right as you both have come up, like I'm guessing Storm goes first because he's a better climber.
Yep.
You see this and you kind of like stop. You turn to Tazio and it's like, something here. You both go up and you see this owl kind of looking at you with a like kind of I'm waiting. And as you both get it, it seems like it's just about to do something, and then the look on the eyes just kind of changes, and it now just looks like a bored owl. It just looks at you, starts looking around the room.
Do we know it's Florp, or does it look?
I mean, it looks just
Like
like
a normal
the
owl.
way you remember Florp to look, but you can't be 100% certain. Like, you're no owl experts, either one of you, so this could just be any owl that you think looks like Florp. However, to see an owl in the
In a
middle of the
cast.
day
In a city.
in a
I told
city,
you.
in a palace,
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps.
Seems
Yeah.
pretty bad.
it's oddly specific and out of place.
Mm-hmm.
I told you. Destiny.
That's probably flop.
But, yep. That's amazing.
I rather prefer sting penis though.
Have you
see,
seen?
the head of this
Sting
owl
penis?
just kind of like turns.
In Abyss.
Oh.
The head of this owl turns around like way more than a human's head could ever turn. Then looks to the side and gives off a hoot and then flies into the throne chamber and lands on the throne.
I really watch it. Yes.
Hmm?
Yeah, I
Why
really watch
bother
it.
with owl? We got other plans, eh?
Well, if it's Dara, then she
Storm,
might be able to see.
Yep.
Storm, right after the owl flies, you hear a patrol of guards approaching outside. And, you know, the main doors are open to the
Yeah, right.
to the throne room.
May I
so-
make a clarification? Shouldn't they be rushing towards the stairs? So not only hearing them.
No, because they were still in the vault when all that happened. This is another patrol.
Oh, okay. So it's another patrol. Got it.
Like, you're already back with
Okay, we're
Dara at this point, so...
Yeah, I'm just gonna hide behind the pillar.
Okay,
Indeed.
so you make stealth
Yeah,
checks
yeah,
if you're
okay,
trying to hide.
You're right. I need to take it.
Nice. Good start of the session.
It's alright, I guess.
Okay, what did you get?
It's 17 now.
33.
And 33. You both just dodge in behind some pillars and you see these guards walk past. One of them glances into the throne room, but they don't really seem to register that the doors are suddenly open and that Isidore is not in there, nor that there's a hole. They just kind of
Nice.
go about their patrol.
So when they leave...
We should close
Dara,
this
are you
door.
gonna show yourself or are you just gonna be a little owl, eh? We're heading out otherwise.
I don't think it works.
The owl just kind of like looks at you.
Why wouldn't he?
At this point, the eyes kind of change again. Dara, you are now looking through the eyes of Florp or Stink.
Ah, great timing.
Storm, Tazio, are you alright?
Wait, the owl can talk?
Yep.
Just wait.
Yeah, we are. I'm happy. Oh, Dara?
Yes, it's me.
Yeah.
And no, I
Yeah.
have not reincarnated into an owl.
That would be quite interesting, though.
So destiny indeed. Am I correct?
As much as I hate to say it, yes, Storm's right.
Well, would you look at that?
I was
Storm being
right all
for
along.
once.
Apparently, I was given a second chance by destiny.
And now what? You don't have another chance with it.
Well, I don't think you
Sapphire.
have a third chance.
Well, the sapphire's broken. I don't know what happens after that, but
But she can grab yours, maybe.
Why would
I
she
think
want
that
I
was
mine?
think
meant for
that's the
Storm.
third chance.
I believe that one is meant for Storm.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
Well, Jackson got a second chance, and he didn't have one. Hmm?
well, he was resurrected through a magic. And that's besides the point. Anyway, are you all right? I've heard from Arisa that you have killed Isidore.
It
I'm
was a
quite
piece of
fine.
cake.
Yeah. Now we're gonna steal the vault
Yes.
with money.
They do have a large hole in the ground, right? in the
Yeah,
ground.
and you see a big ass
Yeah.
disc with like 50 platinum bars floating.
Just try not to take all of the
No,
gold.
it will take too long. We will come to you in a while.
Indeed.
Anyway, I'm glad that you're all safe.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm happy that you're alive.
Yep.
I would come to you, but I'm still fatigued after
Mm.
resurrecting. So I'll
Where did you show up when you?
Okay, that's a question,
in the
actually.
outcasts,
Mm.
or
Oh,
in an
probably the
old,
last place you slept, I guess.
yeah, in an old part of the outcasts.
And did someone see you just appear?
There was nobody around
Uh,
you. Like, when
No, no one saw that.
It
I
usually
did.
were quite crowded there.
it was like a kind of like narrow
Ah,
corridor part that just isn't really used. It's located in an awkward part of it. Like, you know that the
Smells like
catacombs are relatively big and not all of it is used because not all of it is like practical to use.
yeah,
So,
okay.
I happened to be on part of the catacombs that was not inhabitable. But anyway, well, I talked with them over there, and it seems that now everything seems to be fine. But where's Fritz, by the way?
He went back with
He's
his.
in that room, I'm pretty sure.
You're right, with his brigadiers.
Brigadier's talking about how you disappeared, probably.
Talking about brigadier stuff.
Indeed.
Anyway, do you need Thorpe to help you on the way? He can't carry you.
No,
But
we are good.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
fine.
you
I'm
can
pretty
just
sure.
rest
that-
and be with Dara. Oh, I mean Arisa.
if that's the
Okay.
case, I'm just gonna send Thorpe back.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You have earned the rest. You should take it.
Thank you.
See you soon.
so with that, you see the look on the eyes of Florp change again, and he seems to go back to his like normal, uncontrolled state and begins to fly out of there.
Nice.
Since it was mentioned, Fritz,
Yep.
you have finally managed to get Krayer into a more normal state again.
Mm-hmm.
She's still a bit out of it, like a bit distracted, but
Yeah.
she's starting to kind of calm down and not rant about the same thing over and over again. Filmar and you kind of like exchange a bit of a
Yeah.
nod, and yeah, it's like, okay, good. What do you want to do?
I'm thinking we should head back to the outcast place to check out whatever their names were. The other two.
Arisa and Dara.
No, my soldiers.
Oh, right.
The remaining three, Hubble, and Spiegler.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Uh,
Let's see.
Lapsley,
Lapsley.
guy.
Yeah.
Filmar says, the surgeon, don't forget that we still have to take care of Emran in the vampire's resting place. He's hopefully still unconscious down there, but we should probably do something about it.
That's true. Krayer, do you feel fit to keep moving on your own?
Yes, of course, Sergeant. I'm just a bit distracted at the moment. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Okay, well, let's go and see if we can either wake him up enough to so he can move on his own, or I guess we'll have to carry him out of here ourselves.
It seems like the other guards that were charmed by the vampire are still under his control somehow. Like the spell hasn't been fully broken, whatever it is. So I fear that maybe if he wakes up, he's just going to keep fighting. We should probably make sure he can't in that case.
What could be the cause of the continuous spell?
Make an Arcana check.
Is
You can do it on
that,
advantage because of like the information you have.
yeah, is that a D20?
Yeah, and it's intelligence if you have a proficiency in it.
Okay.
Which straight up just 0, I think.
If not worse.
Yes.
No, Fritz isn't stupid.
15.
15. Probably the big monolith that still stands on top of the palace. I don't know if you were present when the group went through all
he was
the
present.
information, right?
Oh yeah. No, but with the monolith.
Yeah, that I know. But like when they kind of like went through all the stuff they have gathered, but they'd have probably caught you up on the fact that the monolith is related to the charming effect. And so even after the big monolith in the town square fell, it was probably either transferred over to like the smaller kind of backup monolith that keeps the smaller cloud there, or it was always from that one. But it's logically, it would probably have something to do with that monolith. So breaking that should break the spell.
Right. So, do you think it would be enough to just carry him away from the monolith, or should we find a way to break it? Filmar, what do you think?
If I recall correctly, when the others tried to take care of the monolith, I overheard that it didn't go so well, so it seems to be tightly guarded. I'm guessing maybe we could keep them locked up until the rest of the brigade arrives and they can take care of the monolith.
Yeah, sounds like the safest route.
Yeah.
Let's do so.
I reckon that the outcasts should have some sort of holding facilities. So with your permission, Sergeant, I would like to get him back to them and let them take care of him.
Yeah, permission granted, Filmar. Let's get him out of
Sergeant.
here.
Let's head down there. I see no reason why we should stay here any longer.
Yes, and we make our way
Right,
to
so just make a stealth check so that you're like stealthing down to run past the guards.
Do I add anything?
Your
Aside
stealth, which will be your
from-
dexterity if you're not proficient, so either
Right.
+2 or higher if you have anything in it.
14.
14.
Not terrific, but
Both Crayer and Filmar rolled like I think 17 and 16. You've noticed that the guards are not the most perceptive individuals in the world, so
yeah.
with those stealth checks, you manage to sneak out. You time it, you figured out that it's about a minute and then some between the patrols. You sneak down, first floor is clear anyway. And you head into the room where Emerin is still knocked out on the floor. Are you gonna just start dragging him away, or what do you want to do?
Well, considering there's multiple of us, I guess we take an end each.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Courier
I
just
think-
kind of like walks awkwardly beside
so,
you, but
Yeah. Filmar takes the legs. I guess I take the upper body.
Are you gonna take his like sword and stuff that fell?
Yeah, I'll ask Crayer to take care of that.
Okay, she just like stands there and is kind of muttering to herself, but as you address her, she's like, "Oh, yes, Sergeant. What is it?"
Would you mind taking care of the sword he dropped?
Yeah, right. She picks up the sword and just kind of like holds it, and then goes back to having this like blank stare, just autopiloting after you guys.
Yeah. And please don't hurt yourself or anyone else with it.
Right. Well, I know how to use a sword, so you don't have to worry about that.
Giving a sword to the most mentally unstable persons.
Well,
It's a
she's
genius idea.
distracted right now. She seems to still be working through what happened. know,
She's in for a world of mental goofness when she comes back and sees Dara again.
Oh my god.
Her brain's just gonna explode. She's gonna drop dead on
Watch
the spot.
a
and
person
just
die. Watch the dead body disappear.
out of nowhere.
See the dead person back from the dead without a single scratch in a random place.
She's gonna become a psychopath.
She's gonna write a book after this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do you want to take like the main exit, like figure out how to open the main gate, or are you just gonna head through the same path that you took to get here?
Is any of them quicker?
If you open the main gate, you would be closer because you wouldn't have to go through the entire escape tunnel and around the entire district. So it'd be easier in terms of speed to just go through the main entrance.
I guess since we have to carry a whole human body, we would just take the. I guess we take the same way because there's less stuff to do on the way back as would be the main gate.
All right. Yep. You have to kind of drag him through a bigger portion of the city, but people are still very tired and sick looking from the poison that you found out has been placed throughout these city's wells. But you managed to get him back to the outcast hideout, where, as you said, there.
Oh, it's Dara.
Sitting in the kind of main room on the side is Dara. Cray doesn't even notice though. She's still so focused on thinking and her duty to hold the sword. She's holding it in a very awkward way, which it's not bad. It just kind of looks a bit weird because she's.
It's like a Lego figure holding it, just
kind of
straight up.
Yeah. She's just walking around like that. Her arm is probably super tired at this point, but she's a good soldier, so she's used to carrying some weight. You're just dragging.
Also, what Dara sees, just just 3 Nighttime Brigaders.
Yeah,
carrying
Dara
around
Arisa,
the body.
You're sitting there having a moment to yourselves when Fritz and Filmar come dragging the unconscious plate armored paladin into the outcast hideout.
Alongside a Lego stick figure. It's just
What are you doing at this point, Dara? Are you just laying down or?
Probably resting and seeing that.
Okay. Upon seeing this, Arisa is actually gonna stand up and rush over to Fritz.
Okay. Yep.
And the body, and just, what happened? I thought we took care of everybody.
What?
Arisa at this point starts frantically gesticulating into the unconscious body of one of your subordinates.
No.
What?
Emerin is the paladin that was
Oh, it's the
defending
oh yeah.
It's
Emerin,
Arisa.
I thought it was.
Fritz.
The one
Fritz
in
is
panic.
from the angle and the kind of
okay,
low
never
light,
mind.
you just see from a distance how they're carrying somebody, and you don't really do the math and just think oh no, it's one of his men, and so you rush up, and then you finally get a proper look, and you see that, oh wait, no.
Yeah, after panicking, you just gesticulating what do you mean? What do I mean? One of your soldiers, and this point fully turned to the soldier. Yeah. Oh, I really need to have a. Sorry about that. Fritz lays a hand on Fritz and just after that just walks back to Dara. At this point, sliding down to the floor, but no, not gracefully, just a thud down onto the floor.
I suppose Fritz would notice Dara also at this point.
What is your passive perception?
15.
Well, I'm walking towards that, so it's,
Right, but
if we were to
it's quite a lot of people here, and so
yeah, fair enough.
My passive perception.
yeah, you should see below your skills. Otherwise, it's just for your perception.
Yes,
plus
12.
Okay, 12. Make a perception check instead, then.
Even
3!
worse.
You see Arisa, don't know where she came from. You just take a brief look around. No sign of her.
You don't see the tallest person there. Rip.
Well, she's
Look,
lying
she's
down in a corner.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess we just continue back
big legs.
yeah.
to the hideout, getting the body back.
Soon enough, you
Body.
see Vera approach you, and she's like, "Oh, would you look at that? You found yourselves quite a catch, Emran of Stronwick. I don't know what he's doing here. Thought I left the
Well-
city."
Well, quite frankly, neither do we. But we thought we could keep him locked up until we find a way to.
Locked up. He's one of us. Sort of.
Well, he's under the spell of the. What was it called?
Easier.
Of the Isidore. So we thought we probably shouldn't wake him up in a,
Right.
free state.
Let me go check with the archpriest. I want to see if he can't do anything about this. She
Much
kind of walks
appreciated.
away, leaving you standing there holding this unconscious, very heavy body. Because, as I said, he's wearing full plate armor. That's not the lightest thing. Luckily, Fritz is very strong, and Filmar is doing a good job.
So are we waiting for her to get back, or we're just like continuing? Because
Yeah,
if we're just waiting, we could just put him down.
Right, like you don't know where else to go really at this point. Like you spoke
Yeah.
with the leader, she was gonna do something. You can put him down.
Yeah, I guess we put him down.
Right, so you drop him to the floor. I assume gently.
No, we just straight up body slam him.
Prayer just walks up, puts the sword on him, takes a step back, and just like keeps muttering to herself.
Yeah.
Soon enough, Vera returns with an elderly man in priest robes that are very ornate, who walks up to him, kind of kneels down by him, takes a close look. Spell indeed. Foul, ancient, forbidden magics. I should be able to cure him of it, yes. Vera, would you bring me some diamonds? And she, just does some, like, math. How much exactly? Just a few hundred golds worth. And she does some more math. Right, I think we may have that. She walks off, comes back with a small pouch. He grabs it, kind of sprinkles this diamond dust over Emran's body, and starts a ritual.
Is this in another room or?
It's in the opposite end of the main room. You could probably see some of it from where you are.
All right.
Make a perception check, because it's like crowded and whatnot. So
Yeah, I would actually like to fail that perception check because I don't think my character at this point
well, yeah, you
would
don't have to pay attention.
specific. Yeah, I wouldn't specifically. It's more.
Yeah. No, it's up to you. Like
15 would like it obviously notice that the clerics were
Yeah.
doing something
you can
properly.
see that the archpriest Montreal is sitting there and casting some sort of spell.
Well, that's enough for my character
Right.
at this moment in time. Thank you.
After a short while of chanting and whatnot, the spell finishes, and he casts another quick spell, and suddenly you see Emran open his eyes and just kind of like look around, a bit shocked where he is, and just kind of tries to support himself. Where am I? And there's like a brief pause. Vera takes a step forward. Emran, welcome back. I thought you left the city. And he looks over to her, looks to you, Fritz, and your men, and to Archpriest Montreal. I was going to, but oh man, it's coming back to me now. Oh god, that ain't good. I think I was, Yep, I was about to leave. And then trouble started. And I went to fight. I was a vampire. Isidore. I think he got to me. Memories are coming back in pieces. I'll need some time to think about this. I think I did some bad things. This is not good. I need a drink. Vera just kind of like pushes him back as he's about to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
You are not getting a drink in a while, friend. You should probably rest first, though. He just doesn't really fight her trying to like keep him down or anything. Just surrenders to it. And then just looks at you, Fritz. And to Filmar. So he stops at Filmar and just says, it was a good hit. And Filmar gets a bit proud almost. Like,
Well, thank you.
well, you know, I practice. Can I say?
well, I do work out. It's
Just, you know, does the trick where he puts his fist under the bicep just to make it look a bit bigger. Like, yeah.
Can we make like a workout pun out of Filmar's name? Like, you know, like Ben Swallow and
Right.
Palpatine. Can we make like a film?
I'll put you on that task.
Yeah, we have to work. We have to work on that.
Okay, so at that point they take care of Emerin. They get some clerics to take him away. He's obviously a paladin of Vir, and the priests here are also priests of Vir, so they know how to take care of them to some extent. Arisa and Dara, you're just staying with each other for quite a while, like while Dara is resting up.
Yeah,
stuff.
and
I'm
I
guessing
take
Dara,
the
you take a
opportunity.
short rest.
Yes.
You both take a short rest, probably.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Okay. Fritz, is there anything more you want to do except like regroup with your squad and like?
No, not really. We're
prepare
just
to head out?
regrouping and
Okay.
yeah, making sure everyone's
Right.
in stable enough condition
Yep.
to move.
You
back to the-
you go back there. Hubble takes a look at Krayer, just like confirms that she will be fine. Lapsley's hand is apparently not hurting as much, but you knew the bad state it was in, so
Yeah,
it seems like some of the priests have kind of helped it heal a little bit, so that it'll probably be fine eventually. He won't
Yeah.
lose any fingers or anything, but it's still gonna take a while before he regains full use of it.
Right.
And then Spiegler is still just kind of like a bit dizzy from his concussion, but somehow in a better mental state than Krayer. And Krayer still hasn't noticed Dara.
yeah. Krayer has a severe case of shell shock
Yeah, pretty much.
from that.
So, Tazio and Storm.
Yeah.
You are alone in the palace. You have extracted one bag full of platinum bars along with one Tensor's floating disc.
Almost bag full because
Well,
Yeah.
the stuff in it.
300 pounds.
Yeah, 300.
Yeah, you know where we're heading, and then short rest. We are
Okay.
after that probably
So,
outcast.
did you want
Yeah.
to do this part in a solo thing, or do you want to just keep
Doesn't
going?
matter for me actually,
Well, we can do
because
it.
it's
Like, it's not that important.
Because you're probably going to be like discussing the plans or something.
sure.
Yeah, okay, then we might do it.
Okay. So if the remaining three of you could just turn off the sound in the Discord call, this should probably not take too long then.
Nah, it won't. Be.
See you soon.
See, yep.
I'm gonna.
Just waiting for you, man.
Hold on. Oh, I forgot.
I think this is stalling here. Oh, that's the
Oh,
wrong one.
sound as well.
Ah,
And you
oi,
can turn off your
oi, oi.
camera if you
What
want.
is
Okay,
this
can't
cheating?
hear
Not Cam. Leon is just sitting
Whatever,
there.
it's fine.
Whatever.
Okay, so the two of you are there.
Mhm.
Okay,
And,
so Taz.
Florp is gone.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
Good. Nice.
Mhm.
I think I'll head out because Arisa is crazy, and take some of this platinum, and they can of course take whatever they want
Yeah,
with them.
I guess.
But I got a plan. We head out because I can't trust Fritz either because he's a nighttime brigadier.
So the only one you can trust is that what you're saying.
You're the only one I can trust.
Okay.
It's, Dara kind of, but she's
She's a
in
package.
company of Arisa, and you just saw what the hell
I think
happened.
I would prefer going with you than going back.
Okay, so the plan. We go to the thing. We have what is it called? Blueprints of the castle, the torn down
Right,
castle.
the old castle where the escape.
You don't have any blueprints of that. It's just ruins, but you know where they escaped.
Oh, he would give us the blueprints if no.
We don't have.
No, he just showed us the way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go
you
to
know
the
escape
ruins.
path.
Yeah.
Hide the bars we have now there. Then we head back.
Okay.
Take a short rest.
Head back to
Because,
where? To the old castle.
wherever it doesn't really matter as long
Well, then,
if Dara and Arisa like suspect something, I will just talk and say I won't be accompanying you. That's it, and I have to leave some stuff.
what do you mean with that? That you won't accompany?
I don't want to be in the party anymore.
Well,
That I'm leaving
that's the problem. I don't think we can tell them in that way because
you think Arisa is still crazy.
that she might still try to hold on to you by force, like not let you leave. I think it's better to double.
That's a chance, but I'm a sneaky lizard and I can run.
That's true, but we should probably just use a letter or something.
Because we won't be walking around in the town without them finding us with Florp and everything. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but like, I think that they are quite busy right now with each other. So, well, I mean,
probably.
ooh,
So you just had to back to the castle.
So we
and
should
short rest.
maybe take a short rest there.
Yep.
Just leave them a note.
Jacob, did you remember if we Kessler's house? Did we lock that?
Yeah.
Or
No, we
did it
didn't
auto
lock
lock?
that.
No, I don't think you did.
We didn't
Nice.
lock that because we wanted it to
So it
be
was
that
left
someone
unlocked.
that someone like just went in and stole all this stuff.
Would
Mhm.
I know if I lock it the other way that it will explode like it did?
You don't know.
Fuck. Because I don't want
'Cause
that.
that's more of a magical thing than a mechanical
Yeah,
thing.
I assume.
Which, like, you know
Mhm.
mechanisms, but that was an enchantment.
Yep.
Okay.
Because
So-
I have to leave the books because we can't have that.
Yeah.
They are not
And we have a lot more money. than
worth 5,000 gold each, I'm quite sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we can do is that I will just walk up there and maybe like cast. I don't know if we should do that though.
Cost what?
I mean, I could maybe like cast Mage Hand and try to open the door with that, but if you are like
But
scared,
it's not locked.
okay, right. So
But if we leave it open, someone else, like, oh look, open door, boom, 26 books.
yeah, right.
So I'll probably try to lockpick it.
Or we can donate it to the library. The books.
But the library isn't open.
Right. I mean, just leave them there.
No,
Well, I think Hester might. Oh,
Okay, we leave them at
man, from the...
Uwe's house instead.
Yes, that can, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't though teleport inside.
No, I just lockpick.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
And then we dig down the 80 bars. We leave.
Okay, so you basically go
After
ahead
that.
with a plan.
Yep.
Yeah, and we
Now-
also draw a map on where we dig them down, so we remember it.
Yeah.
Later.
So typical
Yeah.
pirate map.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, like, if you would have gone and like kept carrying stuff all day, you would have been forced to take a short rest before you could like transport more than one badge. But since you're only having to go there like twice
Yeah.
to transport the things, I'll say you can move the gold that or the platinum that you were intending to steal to the castle before you need to take a short rest.
Everything
Yeah, like the 130
extra.
bars that you wanted.
Okay,
to...
nice.
Wait. Yeah, right. We
Because it's only two
80
trips back and forth. And
80 will be dig down, 50 in bag of holding.
yeah, right. Wait, will my disc be able to like hold up? Will this take more than an hour to do? To get the next.
to move it to the castle now.
I mean, like from.
From castle to the other torn down castle, back and then back.
Exactly like that.
Will we
like,
be able to take 50 extra because it didn't take 1 hour to move?
Well, yeah, because you're doing 80 now, and then
Yeah.
another 50. You can all do that in about half an hour-ish.
I mean, we mean.
Then we can have 50 extra,
If the
because-
floating disc will still be up in that time.
so we can dig down 50 more.
Yeah, so we dig down 150 instead.
I mean, this would have been good if you told me this ahead.
Yeah,
But,
we didn't
like,
think about that because we thought we
talked about
needed
that.
a short rest. as
How
well.
big is the disc?
I mean, like the disc, if it's 3 feet wide.
Okay, yeah. No, I was mainly wondering for the escape tunnel, because that one was pretty narrow.
Uh-huh. Is it
Uh,
for
but
that
yeah,
one?
no, with 3
Okay,
feet,
perfect.
you can still get it.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we would just have to like take the bag back
With
forward.
3 badges?
No, it's 2 badges.
Well, if you wanted to take 50 more.
No, like no, but wait, we would
Like
first.
this, we go first, bam. We have
Then we
80
50.
with the brick.
Yes.
Then we go back,
And get
fi-
another 50.
50 in my bag, and then in his bag 50, or his floating disc 50. Because my bag has 50 and his floating disc have 50. So
And we-
80 because my bag is full of stuff.
Yeah.
Right, I know that.
Yeah.
But
So
then,
it's not the third batch.
So,
So it's
okay, so
180
you want to
bars.
go and empty your bag as well, and
Yeah,
wondering if
before.
that. Okay.
While Tazio
yes,
takes the disc
yes,
and do others.
yeah, I'd say you can do that.
So we'll dig down 130 and we will go with 50.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
that's-
that makes sense. Yes.
Perfect.
You can do that. So you wanted to go to the Altwicker residence.
Yes.
To
Exactly.
Ludvig's then.
Tazio can go and keep filling up platinum bars while I do that because I'm just leaving my stuff in
Yeah,
the bag.
Tazio can like help get it out of the hole at least. And
Yeah.
So, okay.
Mhm.
We'll skip the lock picking because it's an easy
Yeah.
enough check. And,
Nice. And I've leveled up, so I'm
Did
crazy.
you get reliable tal? No,
That's level 10, I
no,
believe.
that's later.
Yeah,
But
that's,
yeah, you still have a super high lock picking thing. So
A fast question as well. With the Stone of Luck, I checked, and what I found, it said that it also gives plus to my passive perception because it's a ability check, or it gives to. I can't
well,
find
it gives the bonus to your perception, which in turn is added to your passive
Exactly.
perception. Yes.
Okay, so it works like that.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think so. You can go with that now, and I'll confirm it later when we have like.
And it says initiative and death saving throws. At least at the thing I.
I'll take a proper look at it after the session if you remind me. But for
Sure.
now, we can say yes.
Nice.
So you have like
Lovely.
what 22 or something in passive perception.
21.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
And that's pretty much it.
and then Storm, do you want to go and leave the letter as well?
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of want to go there and then
Are you gonna try to sneak
speak
the
with
letter
them, I
to-
guess, and then sneak into the bag.
Okay. Just roll a
No.
sleight of hand check now, and then we'll let the others come back, and we will have that
Yeah, let's see.
interaction.
That should be enough. 24.
Okay, that is higher than the passive perception, so
Yeah.
unless anyone requests specifically to...
Yeah, exactly. That would be horrible.
Which they can't really metagame it now, because they have no
Yeah.
idea that this is happening.
That's why we cannot do this.
Okay, so... basically, the things that you're leaving... I'm guessing you're leaving some more stuff as well with the books? Or
yeah,
you
I'm
give
leaving
it to Tazio or
like
something?
everything. I have another bag.
Yeah.
Can I like put some stuff into that bag and then use
if it
bag of holding
fits
for that?
according to the typical rules, which would be like 15
Yeah, exactly.
pounds or something.
But I will throw quite much away, into Emeren's house. And then I will.
To
Oh,
Altwigger's house.
Silas, what's up?
Okay, well, we'll take that with
Nice.
with the
Yeah,
rest
right,
of
yeah,
them.
we gave him one bar as well.
So we
Not
can
everyone
bring back.
come back. We'll do the Silas thing first because he's in the palace.
Sure.
Okay, Leon, welcome back. Let's see
Yeah,
how long it takes for the others.
I think my.
You were the
Oh yeah, your
slowest.
camera is frozen. Just restart.
Yeah, hold on.
You were the slowest and the fastest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just waiting for Fritz.
Does Ludvig know?
Oh, there we
nice.
go.
There
So,
we go.
Let's go.
The first thing we're gonna do here is Storm. While you're in the palace, you're looking around, and you eventually find Silas, who is he has found like one of the bigger rooms with like a diner or dinner table, and you know, prepared a fancy meal. He's sitting like at the short end of the table in like the lord's position, just like dining to himself, as if this was a full-on banquet thingy.
Oh, Silas, how lovely to see you.
Ah, greetings! You, I did not catch your name because you're not as important as me.
Captain Storm, indeed. So much obliged for the help with the easy door, indeed. So I was just carrying an old item that might fit you better than me because I don't use it. Here you go. Cloak that billows in the wind when you, always. Yeah,
Yes.
here you go.
This is perfect! Just what I've always wanted. Finally, an item worthy for one who will probably inherit the throne of Belleroth.
Nice.
Yes.
Now I have stuff to do, but see you one day, Silas.
Ah, yes,
There.
perhaps you will hear about my legend when I become the greatest of everyone. Or, you know, when people recognize me for what I'm already.
Right, yeah, nice. And I run away.
Alright, so, take care of the rest of your things, because that happened, you know, quite early on. And then, after that, Arisa and Dara, you see Storm enter the outcast hideout and come walking towards you.
How long time has passed at this point?
This would have been probably like 45 minutes-ish, I'd say.
So right at the end of the short rest, right?
Yeah, probably somewhere around that.
Can you check?
I wave Storm over.
I mean, he's already walking towards you.
Okay. Well, I still like wave gently, like to actually indicate I see. But then I continue just resting a bit until he approaches.
Let me just do this.
Indeed, I will approach when you wave me over.
Or like gently, like more to indicate, hey, I'm over here. kind of that wave.
You could be very mad at Simon.
Okay. So, yes.
Good day, Arisa and Dara. Lovely to see you again, Dara.
You too, Storm.
Hi, Storm.
Great.
How did it go?
Quite well. You can take whatever you like from the vault.
All right. I wish to apologize to you. I was too harsh.
Nice.
Could I talk to you, just you and me, for a moment?
Yeah, of course.
So
I've got some
we walk
time.
a few steps, like not too far.
Yeah, sure. Where is Fritz, by the way? Do you know? I didn't
Other
see
side
him
of
in
the hall.
castle.
Fritz
do I
is
see Fritz?
still in Outcast hideout, but it would be a bit further away, kind of.
Yeah, so I wouldn't see him exactly.
Yeah, as I said, Storm, I want to apologize. I was too harsh. I was driven by grief, and I wasn't myself. However, this does not mean I don't intend to forgive you for everything that has happened. However, I was in the wrong to make such demands and in such a manner to you.
But what do you not forgive me from? Doing or saying?
Simply put, you did cause Dara to die, or at least seemingly die, but so did I. You are right about that. That I should have been in better and more alert. But more importantly is you put my homeland in danger.
Indeed. And I've told you I will help you with that.
Thank you. And that's why I'm saying this to you now, between us, that I will put my faith in you one last time and see. I believe that you will stand by that word and help to right the wrongs you have committed against your friends. But I also believe.
Co-workers.
Sorry, co-worker.
Thank you.
But I also believe that you are a capable man who will find a way to right these wrongs in your way. So how you want to go about it, I leave up to you. I know which way I would like you to do, but that is not my decision. Because if I were to compel you, then what point would there be?
You will understand my ways. But I will help you. And we will see when your homeland becomes targeted, I guess, from the
Thank you.
Kessler or whatever. Because as I see it, won't take
Now, on the matter of
effect
the
immediately.
Yeah, we have some time. I will be heading there as soon as possible, but... Yes. On the matter of the vault, how can I
Indeed.
help?
What do you want from it? I don't need no help, really.
As much as I can carry out, as I suspect it might be needed to reinforce my home, and also to aid Dara on her quests.
Tell me how many you want. How many bricks do you want, Arisa? You and Dara. Because if it's some stupid amount that we can't carry out, and
I'm quite capable of carrying more than you would think, but I do not actually know. I have not haven't really paid attention to how much there is in the vault, nor the weight of the bars, or anything like that. I suspect you are more knowledgeable. So I ask you, what is feasible and what methods would I have to deliver it out of the city? When I transform, anything I'm having on my body will feel like a feather until I transform back, which means
We'll
I can
take
carry quite
everything
a
you can then.
But
Because
what
they're
about
not
on the
too-
way out? It sounded like you and Tazio had a plan,
Plan of what?
getting the gold out.
Yeah.
You
I
wanna-
have some platinum. And
You're not planning on cutting us in on that?
I thought like each man for their own taking the bars.
Very well.
Indeed. And then we just run
And if
as
there's
fast
nothing
as we
more,
can.
then I will return back to the group.
Something more? I don't think so. I have. The books we stole. They're at US Altwicker's mansion. Nice.
Very well.
Just
Thank
so
you.
hopefully it doesn't sell them for drugs, but that will probably happen, and then we'll have even more problems with Kessler. Damn.
Well, anyway, I'm still quite exhausted. I
Indeed.
start walking towards Dara and the rest of the group again and sit down.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep, and I
only
scurry
really
away.
you and Dara there. Like,
What about Tazio? Where did he go?
well, he hasn't come back yet.
Oh, I thought Tazio also came.
There was only Storm.
Okay.
You reckon?
Well,
that
then I
Tazio
could have
is
just as
probably
well had
doing
that
something.
conversation. Well, it was very near shot anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we did not walk, unless Storm specifically changed. I intended, like, we walking symbolically away from the group.
Right.
Like, if anybody
it's only
paid
Dara.
slightest attention, they could have heard it.
I mean, there
like,
are other people, like random outcasts around there, but
Yeah,
it's
Storm
hard to
wasn't really
find
bothered
like a
with
good private.
where we
place.
stand.
No, I'm talking like, even so, we wouldn't even try. Like, if whoever in the party was
then
there,
it would only be Dara that was there, because Fritz is
Yeah.
off with his men. Tazio's nowhere to be seen.
they
Dara's
wouldn't
just
necessarily
resting
hear
next
it
to
unless they wanted to. But if they wanted to, it wouldn't be hard for them.
Okay, so Storm, you go back and you continue with with your stuff. Dara and Arisa, do you want to do anything at this point?
I recapped or asked first, did you overhear?
No, I didn't listen too much.
Then I recapped the more important points of that conversation. More with the vault and especially, and just the decision of seemingly part ways by the subcontext.
I see. Well, how do you expect us to be able to transport?
Well, you see, I have learned through the years that, you know, when I transform, as I call wild shaping, anything I carry upon me, if I so choose, when it melts into my body, it feels like nothing. Or like all the encumbrance of having the weight of this satchel and all, nothing. And therefore I'm thinking, if we just get myself a bunch of backpacks and containers and load me up, and then I transform into a beast of some sort, preferably one that can fly or just transport us a heavy load, depending on what route we decide to take out of the city. And then just pack that one up as much as possible. That should be sufficient.
Yeah, I believe so. But still, how much are we talking about taking? I believe that we should at least leave a lot left.
Yeah, I doubt we. I don't know how much they are taking, but I doubt we, even together. But who knows with those two, can empty the vault in time period. I'm talking for me. I'm talking. We got to be able to travel with it. So, and I'm not looking to empty the vault at all. I'm talking compensation and necessary arrangement for eventualities coming up. We'll probably have a long and hard year in front of us.
Agreed.
So I can probably try and do the math, but let's see, just we go to the vault when we feel a bit better and see how much there is.
Let's do that. Yeah, I don't think I'll have a short I think I'll have to rest up a bit beforehand, but...
Me too. At this point, I once more sit down by Dara, resting my head towards her.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, by the way, just I have unsummoned the floor for a long time ago, so he's not just wandering around.
Can you guys just entertain the viewers for a second?
Oh, okay. I have
mini
got
break for
the new
the great silence.
good, very nice flingor. Leon's,
Cereals,
Will's favorite ones. Wow, bam. Okay.
Oh yeah, but those are strawberries.
Alright, I'm back.
Those are better.
End of break, let's go.
But I open it upside down. Okay, nice.
Cool.
Well, everything is upside down.
Storm, I forgot one thing. Before you were leaving, Vera would actually come up and grab you. Storm, glad to see that you're alive. Now,
indeed,
you are due for a report. Tell me what happened.
Oh, what? Was that in the deal? Sure.
You do seem to be the leader of your little coworkers, and I am the leader of the outcasts.
Christ.
So
I am no leader.
Well,
everyone says I am.
If you are the one making the calls, I would say that you are the de facto leader. I don't really care if you use the title or not.
Great.
But you do use the title of captain.
So we went into the.
You don't have to recap at all. You can just like.
Yeah, I say everything.
Is there anything you want to leave out of your recap?
That we terminated the vault, I guess. Like how we got into the vault. I guess, or doesn't really matter. No, I don't think anything.
May I ask? Is it only about entrance to the vault, or is it anything regarding the heist?
I mean,
no. They wouldn't care because it's outcast.
Vera mainly wants to know about Isidore and whatnot to confirm, you know.
And what was our deal, by the way, Vera? It was something along the lines of...
Are you talking about the hub access?
Yeah.
Well, I can start filling out the paperwork. I'd need to collect all of your blood, though.
All of my blood?
Yeah. And it will take a few days before you're given the token and such things.
If I give you the amount we offered, do we have to do it straight away, or can we wait with it when I return?
I'm willing to wait. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't.
Then wait, let me see.
Do you want to know what your deal was?
No, I know my deal. Check what I wrote.
No.
Because otherwise, no. Okay, I'll go get the amount I offered you, and then the deal is done. Indeed.
All right.
Perfect. See you soon.
I'm trying to find the exact deal myself. Actually,
it was 12,000 gold. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember the deal. Who exactly were included in it, or was it all of the?
I mean, the hub. Idea is that the hub access would be registered to your group.
Yeah.
Which would mean that
so
it could
it's
be
one.
Used by...
It's like one token, or?
It would be a single token that belongs to all of you.
Alright.
Or like a well, the
Do we
tokens
all
would
get-
be 3 tokens, but
Do we all get our
count
each
towards-
tokens, or
no. Well, no. Like you can either do it solo, which would grant all of you individual access. However, that would obviously cost you way more because then you have to add up the sum for each and every one of you. Or you do it as a group, which is cheaper, but it only grants you 1. If
I
you were
can't
to...
What is it exactly that we do if we...
The hub has a 2-step process. First of all, you need to have what is essentially like a badge showing that you are granted access to the hub to be let into the teleporters. However, when you're using the teleporters, if you aren't a real member, even if you've like stolen a badge, if your blood hasn't been registered, you will be instantly annihilated upon arrival. Which is why they require both steps to be fulfilled. So, if you don't have the badge, but your blood has been registered, then you can't access the teleportation circle. If you have a badge, but you're not registered, then you will die.
Alright.
So, that is essentially like...
badge is access, blood is to turn off the defense.
Pretty much, yeah.
Essentially. And the deal is for 3 badges.
The deal is for 3 tokens. That is the minimum requirement to grant you a badge.
So the deal never includes any badges, just 1 token. Or 1 badge.
1 badge. The tokens are basically just the levels. You need 3 tokens of any level to fill out your badge and grant you access to the teleportation circles. That is essentially the...
Yeah, okay, thank you.
The TLDR of how the system works. Okay, so, you can go, and you can get whatever platinum that was part of the deal.
Yeah, and then I return. Give it, I guess.
How much did you say it was? I mean,
12,000, so I will
3 bars.
give it 3 bars. And she owes me 3,000.
well, her debt to you would be scratched as part of the deal.
But she owes him 3,000.
5, yeah.
Oh, right,
3
you
bars.
mean in exchange.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Because she probably hasn't that at
right.
the...
So do you go and get that directly from the vault, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, it's only, 3 bars, so that's what you can carry in a regular bag, anyway. So you just run quickly to the vault and back, and you hand her that, and she will hold on to that. Do you tell her about Rembert being dead in a chain, in the throne chain?
Oh, yeah, right. Before I go, leave you with the bars. You owe me 3,000, yeah. Rembert, he was killed by Isidore. I forgot to recap that.
I assumed as much.
Yeah, that was horrible to see, but
Do you know where his body is, then?
Yeah, it's in the castle. King's throne room. Yeah.
Well, I'll send some people to collect his body then.
Along with many other bodies.
We'll take care of those that belong to us.
Perfect.
The rest, I suppose that the king and his men will take care of them when they return.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you, Storm.
Thank you to you too. And I head out.
You go on and do whatever it is Captain Storm does.
Keep a weather eye out.
You too, whatever that means. Okay, so that wraps up your conversation with Vera. Right, so let me just think what would come next at this point. I guess Dara and Arisa. You finish your short rest. What do you want to do in regards to the vault? What are your plans?
Well,
Well,
first we have to get there.
Sure.
yes, but before that, estimating with storage space and everything, as we've been here quite a while, would I know where the most reliable place to find portable containers like satchels, backpacks, or could I potentially use just linens that we tie, like bedsheet linens from the castle that we tie around my.
You could improvise solutions, which would probably take more time to set up properly.
Mm-hmm.
Bags would probably be pretty rare to come by since they're quite valuable, and there aren't really any bag makers available in the city at the moment.
Then I think we would probably just head to the city or to the castle.
Yeah.
To try and obtain.
Make an investigation check to see how much stuff you can find to make these improvised bags out of.
Investigation check.
Yeah, you can do it on advantage because I'm assuming Dara is gonna help you.
Yeah, Dara helps.
1 second. I just realized I forgot to bring forth my dice. Advantage, you said?
Yeah, because you're getting
Really did help. Investigation. Just double checking. 20 total.
Alright. I'd say so if you just tie them.
Like I can give you an idea of the bare minimum. Like anything better would of course be taken, but bare minimum would like maybe be a bed sheet or linen or some kind that you wrap it up.
Yeah,
almost
no,
like
I understand. I understand what it is you're going for. I'm just mainly thinking like how much of this that you could find that would be usable, because again, each bar is very heavy, so you know your backpack is this like proper leather bag. This would
so 2 sheets of linen probably per.
Right. If you double down on it like that, I'd say you could find enough to carry about maybe 30 additional bars.
On my person.
Yeah. In addition to your bag, which would carry another.
That is scouring the castle.
That is looking
or is
around.
It scouring the, or is it looking around the outcast?
No, that would be in the castle. If you're looking with the outcast, you'd probably have to pay some people for their bags, and there isn't really stuff to just take because everything belongs to outcast members, unless you want to rob some already poor homeless person of like their last possessions. Then
exactly.
Probably wouldn't find that much.
Help the character.
But yeah,
and I can't find any actual bags that you could, for example, put over.
Not really, like, because you wouldn't really have time to look through properly, like, every single room, because that would take you.
I would focus on, like, we know the storage areas.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
we know the Isidor's areas, and we know.
Well, that's the thing. I'm assuming that you're moving through the castle strategically, or the palace.
Yeah.
And
so you're taking, like, the servant quarters, storage, and.
So that's why I'd say you'd probably be able to carry 30 of them. Obviously, that would be 300 pounds, I think. So I'm not sure if you could actually carry that much as
I can't remember the rules of the.
I think it is 15 times your strength score, which should be
if you want to lift.
15.
15 times strength score.
Yeah, and your strength score should be 14 or 15.
My strength score is 12.
Oh, 12. Well, maybe not as high as I remember then. I'm gonna double check this real quick though.
180 pounds.
But verdict also, if I'm over encumbered,
right?
Do I retain the over encumbered status when I transform?
No.
That's what it only discussed.
Yeah, but you aren't considered over encumbered while you are wild shaped. So
theoretically, I could take more than my normal carrying capacity as long as I transform.
Yeah, because that essentially means that it weighs 0, which to your new form means that you're not over.
Yeah, that's my interpretation as well, based on the previous.
Yeah, so it is 15 times. I looked it up, so it would be 15 times 12 in pounds.
So that's 180.
If you were to carry more, your speed would be halved. So
All right.
There's that.
So one is it with in total all of the linen versions, I could have 30.
Plus your
Or
bag,
is
which
it
would bring
what?
you to
Is it what?
33.
33.
Assuming you're not carrying a lot of other stuff, so I'd say probably 32 we'll just subtract so that you don't accidentally break your bag.
So 32, sure.
Right. And each of them should weigh 10, unless I'm misremembering.
And then with the Dara could take 1, or is it 2?
Dara could probably take 1 or 2.
I
Wait,
take
how
one
much bag
because
space do you have, Dara?
not that much, so I think I'm going with 1.
Because how much bag space? Because you don't need to actually carry anything.
You can carry a total of 30 pounds in the bag.
Yes, then I have to go through
If you
all
hit
of them.
any more than 30, the bag would probably break.
Oh shoot! I actually have 2 backpacks now that I see it. So yeah, okay, I could take 2 bars.
Well, if you the thing is, if you give me the backpacks for the transportation, I can still carry, like, as long as I can physically wear them.
Well,
or
let's say
okay. I know.
Well, in that
know
case, you can move all your stuff to one backpack. You give your spare, and that is another 3 bars.
All right. Yeah. Let's go with
35 total then for your side.
Yeah.
Okay. Each bar was what was it? 5k.
Yeah.
5,000, yeah.
And how much would be left in vault? I'm assuming a shit ton.
Yes, there are thousands of bars in the vault.
Good.
You can make an intelligence check if you want to estimate the value of.
Well, it's more the, like, if it's a magnitude of 1,000 times or 10th of 1,000 times. Okay.
Also, I should say, you'd probably notice that not as much is missing as you would have expected.
All right. That would be just a straight up intelligence.
Yeah.
Total of 11.
I mean, it's definitely in the millions of gold.
Yeah. I'm not too fussed about the exact number.
It's anywhere
anyway,
from like
so.
5 to 10,000 bars, probably.
And
Dara, you can also make an intelligence check for fun if you're interested in how much gold there is.
Why not? Pure intelligence, right?
Yeah. It's just like maths and calculating, roughly.
Oh, that's just a 10. So.
Okay. Same range as Arisa. I will say as well, Arisa, when you are like kind of loading some bags and stuff, as you open your main bag, you find something that wasn't in there before. You find a letter. No idea how it came there or how it got in there, but you find a letter in there, like on top of it.
all right. And this is while packing and everything. Did I find it as soon as I opened it?
Yeah, like
Or
as soon
did,
as you get to your main.
or did I presumably not, or could I have presumably not noticed it until like starting to filling that bag up, even though I opened it? Or is it just as...
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like when you start packing your personal bag, that's when you find.
Is it sealed?
I don't think so.
Then I want to open it up and read it.
I will post this to you in the server in your personal chat.
Thank you. In the meanwhile, if Dara wants to do something.
Yeah, Dara, do you want to do it?
Well, just to make everything easier, I'm just gonna cast. Since we are in the vault, I'm just gonna cast a fly on myself and Arisa, so it makes it easier to go up and down.
Okay, yeah, is it 10 minutes duration on fly?
Yeah, it's a 10 minutes. So
Yeah, you can do so when the bags are filled and you need to get them up.
Yeah.
You're kind of struggling to help all that much. You help a little bit, but it's more of like a 10-15% on top. Because you're still exhausted and whatnot, so it's a bit rough for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just have to wait for Arisa to finish the letter.
I'm done.
You're done?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
You can see a slight smile and chuckle come over Dara. Oh, sorry, Arisa. And then she just sheath the letter again and put it to another person.
Okay. I think at that point that is a good time to take a bit of a break because we've been playing for an hour and a half, and I think that is roughly the halfway point of the session. So yeah,
Do some boring math in the meantime and eat some food.
pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will be back soon, I hope.
I think it's gonna be a shorter one than normal.
Yeah, it's not gonna be more than 3 hours. I don't think it's a maximum of 3. I'm guessing. 'Cause,
Currently on the shorter side.
yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
we will be back soon.
Of course.
So, hello, and welcome back from the break. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did with our 50 minutes of break time.
Yes, I think
Now
that's a
we're
new
back.
record. Shortest.
No, it's not.
We've taken over an hour. I think like 120 or something. Is that right?
I think more on the other end with the shortest.
Nah, we've had that one that was like 15-20 minutes.
I don't believe you.
No, we have.
Don't believe you. La 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 la
I
la
have
la.
all the evidence.
Don't believe you anyway.
So, when we ended before the break, we had Dara and Arisa doing their work in the vault, and Tazio and Storm had already finished up some of their stuff. And Fritz was preparing to move out with his troops. So, I guess I will ask you guys who wants to go next. Like, where do you want to begin? Does anybody want to do anything more, I should say, before everybody starts leaving the city? I guess that is
Yes.
a way to start.
I don't think so.
I have something.
Me and Arisa have
No.
stuff that we have.
I would like to investigate the. I'm forgetting the name, but basically the office. So it would
The
be
parsonage.
parsonage. Thank you.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Dara, are you helping with this?
I would like to cast detect magic on my own. So
Okay,
no,
right. Yes, you can definitely do that.
because I have that one.
I have like 2 separate things I would like to check as well with the.
Well, we will do one thing at a time.
Yes.
So we'll start with this then. Let me just find my notes here. We have them. Okay, so as you head in there, before you start searching, Arisa, Dara, you quickly cast detect magic, and there is, from one of the drawers in a desk that you find in the parsonage, there is a sense of something magical coming from there.
Arisa, I sense magic over there. And I try to go and open it.
I hastily stop Dara from opening it and indicates that I want to open it first, just in case it's booby trapped.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a very good idea.
So we open it kind of carefully,
Right.
both anticipating both nothing and everything at the same time.
So, Dara, you back off a bit as Arisa slowly and carefully opens, feeling so that there's nothing that is like resisting, no like wire or anything that is snapping from this.
Yeah.
Turns out it's just regular drawer. So you're able to open it, and you see within there is this tome, a thick black book with silver chains that are wrapped around it.
Is this it?
That is definitely
Yeah.
the source of the magic.
Yeah, it radiates magic.
All right.
I don't know what it does, but it's magical.
Would by its appearance it trigger me to attempt to recall anything? Would it be seeming to me more historical, magical, or religious?
I mean, you know
Like, just
that this is magical. It's...
Yeah, but more like the motif of it, like the exterior. Would I say?
I'd say
Does
make
it
a
have a title?
general intelligence check.
Okay, so now it doesn't actually speak out to any of it at first glance.
It's hard to tell because the cover is mostly blank. It has some strange scripts written in it.
Intelligence, right?
Yeah,
Total of 16.
16.
Yes.
Seems arcane in nature. There is a slight undertone to something that could be connected to possibly religion to some extent. Because some of the imagery...
could I try, like, figure out, like, without touching it and stuff like that? It's more, or figuring out, like, would I assume I might have heard anything in the general area, and therefore would I even attempt to remember any piece of information or puzzle any kind of thing about it together? So if it's religion, could I roll to see how much I can figure out just by...
There isn't really anything you would know about the religious aspect of it.
Very well, thank you.
And as for the arcane, you know from what you were able to study about Isidore that he did dabble in forbidden ancient magics.
Yeah, that was one I was thinking about.
This could be connected to some of that. But it's hard to say without, like, reading it. Also, I know what languages you speak, Arisa. Which ones do you speak, Dara?
Let me take a quick look. She doesn't speak that many languages.
It's like Undercommon, Northern Common...
Northern Common, Southern Common, and Undercommon.
Oh yeah, Southern Common replaces Elvish. I'm dumb. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So none of you are able to read the script that is written on the first page, or on the cover, rather.
Oh.
Something strange. It does not seem like anything that would be from the Dawn world. But neither one of you is particularly specialized in linguistics, so it's hard to say, or it's difficult to narrow down the origins of it.
I believe we should probably ask Tazio if he can read what this one says.
Yes. You said it was bound by chains.
There are 2 sets of silver chains that are wrapped around it, kind of horizontally. But you reckon that you could
as
just
in
pull them off.
potentially something you could like a satchel bag, or is it actually to bind it?
No, it seems like it's kind of something that just keeps the book shut, but it's easy enough to just pull off if you wanted to do that. Like, they're not attached in any way, they're just like wrapped around. They're like a loop, or the chains aren't open. You know,
Okay, does it have like a padlock or in it?
No, it seems like it's just the 2 chains that...
And the 2 chains, how they're held on, would it seem like they, if you just picked up the book, like they would actually fall off?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could easily just, like, they're sitting pretty tight, but if you could kind of like roll them.
Yeah,
off
but on
pretty
the wrap,
easily.
like if you think like what's it called? Not rope, string. That's the word. If you know how you wrapping a string around like a present, you can wrap it in a way that if you just do one loop from one end, like it would fall off unless you really tightened it.
Well, they
Would you?
are
Or is
pretty
it
much in that.
actually...
No, they're in that like
Intertwined.
sweet spot where they're not like stuck, but they're also not falling
Oh,
off.
so they are actually intertwined with the object. It doesn't
No.
seem like they should fall off due to gravity.
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't. But it's also not like you could pull them off if you just did a bit of like fiddling.
Okay, at that point I actually want to pick up the book.
Okay.
And I should Dara, should we open it?
I believe it's a good idea to see if there's something inside.
Then I attempt to pull all the chains off.
Just make a quick nature check.
Nature
Just,
check.
Yeah.
Roger
Only
that.
Arisa.
Yeah, only Arisa, because she's the one that is like picking it up and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
I'm so happy I have good nature. That's a total of 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I questioned 7 plus 11. Like what?
When you touch the book and you pick it up, the texture of it is strange. And it doesn't take you long to realize that the leather it's bound in is probably human skin that has been dyed.
Arisa shrugs back a bit for a moment, eerie, but still proceeds to open it.
Yep. Okay. So you open it, and the book is filled with these weird symbols that you don't recognize. Some of them take up an entire page. They're usually in red or black. And there's more of the writing that you found on the cover that you're unable to read. But the book emanates an aura of magic.
When opening it, does it seem to first and foremost, the writing, does it seem hastily written or carefully written, or like normal, like
Pretty
normal,
carefully written, I'd say.
carefully written? Yeah.
It's on the more exact side of things with a clear style and all that.
Could I discern anything from the text, like maybe a name, place, location?
I mean, the alphabet is different, so it's...
So it's kind of like
Yeah.
me attempting to read Cyrillic or
It's
something
pretty
like
much...
that. Or even no, actually hieroglyphs, maybe even to the point of
Yeah,
complete.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely different set. They don't share any of the letters or even the resemblance of them. These are more, like, harsh looking and have, like, jagged edges and look way more complicated with, like, intertwining lines and circles and all that. This does not look to you like any human language that you know of. That much I am willing to say. Like, this is definitely not
Thank
from
you.
the dawn.
That's all I needed for information.
Yeah.
At this point, I would put this away in a bag. We're not carrying the platinum with us, obviously, right now.
Right.
If that wasn't
Yeah,
obvious,
no, I assume
we
as
left
much.
it.
Silent. Look, all the platinum over there.
Do you want to carry this, or should I?
I can carry it. You should focus on the other stuff.
Yeah. So I hand it over to Dara.
Okay.
After closing, can I put the chains on again?
Yeah, you can, like, work them back into place.
Do I
It's
need
not
a
too
check for
difficult.
that, or?
No, it just takes like a minute or so to get them back
Yeah.
on there, but it's
not
easy
that I'm
enough.
on.
It's just a
It's
bit of
not
a
really.
process.
It's not like I'm not what's it called? Unused. No, inexperienced with handling chains.
Okay, is there anything else you want to do?
I want to search the library for 2 things. For a primary, like
library.
general search. Oh no, so the priory.
parsonage.
Parsonage.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Priory is sensitive thing.
Probably
Yeah,
sounds
parsonage. 2 things. First, general gold, valuable, like any general items that could have value or interest.
Right.
And secondly, is any documentation, books, works that of either sticks out or of the general, like, animals and or resurrection of vampires. Those, if you get
Okay,
what
so
I mean.
valuables and
2 different checks. So like one is just in general,
Yeah.
like opening drawers, checking stuff like that. The other one is more for knowledge. Like, is there any knowledge of one, the general, of course, beasts, as I'm always in the search for that.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's in vampire and specifically like vampire resurrection or something like that, or death. Otherwise, it's just a work that might stick out to me. So if there's a work that seems to have been used a lot more than others recently,
Right.
so anything that could relate to Isidore revival or anything he seems to have studied during his time.
I will say there isn't like a big collection of books or anything in here. Most of that
That's
would
why
be in the library. There's like a shelf with scrolls that seem to be religious scrolls dedicated to Vir and the Northern Pantheon that the priests that normally
I would
live here
probably
use.
skim through some of
But,
them, unless one of them are like if there's dust or something like really off, or something seems to have been used, as we know he used this room.
Sure. Make
So it's more related to
make a general investigation check. We can combine it all to one. I'm guessing Arisa or Dara continues to help you search as well. So.
Is one or two, like if those separate, or are they one that's
No, like advantage.
advantage for you?
You're the one leading search, being helped by Dara.
Very well. I'm very happy for the advantage because first one went terrible.
Okay, so
Investigation, right?
Yeah.
18 total.
18.
Yes.
Surprisingly, looking around, there aren't really any valuables here to begin with. The most valuable thing would be the scrolls and probably the chained book that you found.
Actually, could I extend with just one thing? It would still be within parameter, but I'm assuming it wouldn't be there anyway. A crystal ball or like a silver mirror, anything I could use to scry. I'm assuming it wouldn't be there. That's why I'm adding.
Okay, yeah, no, you don't find any of that.
Yeah, that's why but I realized, hey,
what you
maybe.
do, like, and also you don't find any of the like texts that you're looking for. The only thing that seems to have been brought here by Isidore would be the book, probably. You also find, I should say, in the same or on the desk, you find a pair of gloves as well that appear to have been used by Isidore.
I would like to pick up the gloves and investigate them.
I mean, they look like ordinary gloves, quite a fine fabric, but still relatively thick for their like softness.
Could I put them on?
Yeah, they're a little big for you, but I mean, Isidore was like a 6'6" man, so he had pretty large hands.
Yes.
So they don't really fit you, but they are gloves.
I'll take them off then and check my hands for any markings. Otherwise, I will just bag them for maybe later.
No, nothing.
But then I bag them and do.
Yep.
Unless Dara has anything more.
Nah, my detect magic didn't get anything else, so I'm
I'll
good with that.
Probably want to check the library real quick. That nothing seems to have changed.
Okay.
I've
Yeah,
already
well,
magicked there, so
right. You go back there. There's nothing different about it. Is there anything else?
Dara, do you want to check the armory or any other place in the castle?
I believe I don't need to check anywhere else. I don't think he brought too many things that are magical in nature.
Well, true, but maybe we can find anything else useful. But all right then, I think.
Believe referring to where he was told that he would only be in his private quarters, the throne room, and the library, perhaps, that it didn't seem that there were anything else of value.
Actually, one last thing. I should have remembered this year. By the way, the obelisk, that's gone, right? Is it still
You mean the one on the roof?
on the roof? Is it still?
As far as you can tell from the throne chamber, it's still there.
Three last things.
There's
I just
still a cloud of
remembered.
darkness as well that is visible.
We should. I would like on the way away from the parsonage, I would like to take a move through the royal chapel, just general gaze if there's anything of value or anything of interest, like if there's a book, just openly, or if there's something clearly out of value.
Right.
Otherwise, I would like to move into the map room, just check general, or like if there's an open map or something like that. But primarily, I would like to make my move to the dungeons.
Okay. So
Unless Dara has any
I'll
objection.
just move through this quickly.
Yeah. It
Royal
is very
Chapel,
quickly.
nothing that you wouldn't expect to find in a relatively nice temple. So, they have some valuable things, clearly of religious nature.
And
like
of course, any
candlesticks
room
and
I
stuff.
check also for bags and stuff, of course.
Right, but we
Just a quick-
already
Yeah.
kind of
No,
updated
I'm
on
just
that, so.
concluding that for
Just to piss off the DM,
Roleplay.
a quick detect magic as well in the chapel.
Yeah, nothing.
Right.
Second,
Well, how long does the text stay?
well, she can cast it an infinite amount of times, I think.
All right. Yeah. So presume every room we go to.
So second one, what came before the dungeons?
After that, it would be map room as
Map
we're
room, yeah.
heading from
There's a map open
that room.
over the general, like, greater area surrounding Venderthal, like a few miles around it and all, marking some of the keeps and stuff that are in the area. There's nothing that you can really deem to be useful information.
In the
for
map room, is it labeled all the maps like the shelves?
Vaguely, it's like alphabetically sorted, but it's
Is there anything in on Androni actually, or specifically the forest? Forgetting the name right
there's
now.
nothing about the forest. There is a map over in Dronia, but it's very like political type
yeah,
map.
great.
That you
Then
can
the
expect to find.
dungeon type.
In the dungeons, you go there, and you see guards that are watching over the area.
Watching over the dungeon.
Yeah.
Do they seem to be like they were before, or do they seem to be?
They still appear to be under the control. Like, there are patrols and everything that I've just been ignoring because it's annoying to make you do like 20 different stealth checks. I'll just assume you succeed because they're not very difficult to succeed.
We don't. Well, are they patrolling the ones that are in the dungeon?
Some are. Some seem to be sitting in like the other end of the corridor because there's this kind of like general area for guards to entertain themselves near, like the vault's entrance, kind of.
All right. Sure. I just wanna check that nobody's left here in the dungeons. So if you just hide real quick, I'll go and check it out.
Okay.
And I'm assuming it's side room. I just turn into a fly and bust through there,
Right.
and essentially take the route from, if you take the, what would that be, navigational north, as we call it,
Yeah.
the geographical west, if I remember correctly. But
Yes.
anyway, navigational north. Go through the dungeons there.
No, north would be
Quickly
east,
check. That would be east. Okay, sorry.
I
I
think.
remember. Wasn't whatever. Go through the dungeons. Go through Armory B and just down that entire wing, and then back out through quickly Armory A and just check basically entire
I'm
or
gonna put it
halfway
like
down.
this.
Corridor
You
and
do
up.
see a bunch of people in the dungeons, some of which are still alive, others that aren't. However, there are too many guards for just the two of you to deal with on your own.
I just want the general information. Like, what the people there? Do they seem like more common people, or does anybody stick out?
They are both commoners and nobles, and I mean it's people from the city. Obviously, there's nobody that seems to be like.
And the rest of the barracks and the entire armory and barracks, does anything stick out? I'm assuming not.
Guards.
I
pretty much.
take note of the count of guards. I take note of the amount of prisoners, especially amount of live, and then fly back and transform back and say,
Alright.
I'm ready to leave. I'm taking notes so we can report this back.
Good idea.
And then I'm ready to leave the castle.
Alright.
After going back to the
So
throne
is
room, of course.
there
Okay.
anything else you want to do before you leave? Before we like start the kind of leaving process?
Basically, when I get to the outcast, I don't know if I would do that before or after. Like, real quick, go to the outcast, just tell them how many are alive, roughly their state, and report the amount of guards and stuff like that. Shit we've gathered with
Right. Yep.
that information, so they can rescue them as quickly as
Do
possible.
that.
And other
Vera
than that,
kind
I'm feeling bad.
Alright. So you do that.
Check up on the contract, because Arisa knew about the pact of, not the full pact, like she didn't know the details, but she knew there was something about teleportation circles.
You mean the hub thing?
Hub thing, yeah.
I mean, she basically tells you that Storm has paid off the deal and that it's ready to be, quote-unquote, activated as soon as you all return. And
I would ask
like,
what was required for it to be activated then. She would just say we all return and...
Pretty much that the majority of the group is present to confirm that they
Yeah, no,
are
but
indeed
we all,
interested.
the group returns and then it's blood and shit like that. Okay, great. Then I'm ready to leave completely. Sorry,
So-
speeding through it, but yeah.
I think what we're gonna do next is Fritz.
Alright.
So, Fritz,
Yep.
you and your men have packed up whatever things that they had spread out to live in this area for a little while, and so you're ready to head out. You reckon that if you leave the city now, you will still be able to get there comfortably before it gets super dark outside.
Yeah.
So if you just like start heading out now, you'll be able to reach the army camp in the early evening, sort of.
Yes, we start heading out
Alright.
immediately.
You and the group begin your journey. If you want to say goodbye to anybody, you can do so. Otherwise,
I mean, I guess if we pass anyone on the way, but
I'd say probably get the chance to say goodbye to Dara and Arisa. They are in the outcast hideout when you are moving out.
yeah, we just kind of acknowledge that we're leaving to them.
Okay.
And vice versa.
Yep. You have a short and concise farewell. And then you begin to make your way out. So,
Yes.
as you left the city, now able to kind of open up the gates and make your way out the proper way instead of having to stealth through a bunch of different side entrances, as the outcasts and some of the surviving people with a fighting spirit have started to kind of take back the gates, at least. You're able to leave the city and make your way west towards the camp. When you're about like an hour away from the camp, Philmar turns to you and says, Sergeant, just wanted to check when we get there, and they'll expect us all to report. Is there anything you want us to leave out of that? I mean, it's a risk. Somebody tells will be exposed, pretty much, but you're the sergeant.
No, let's keep it all in there.
Roger that. So you continue traveling. And you make quick progress with the walking, since you have your spirit of the elk kind of imbuing you with additional speed. Once you reach the woods in which the army camp is situated, the sun is sort of beginning to set already. It's getting dark when you move into the woods as well, because the leaves are quite dense in the canopies and all. After a short while, you see some Nighthead Brigade soldiers appear from the darkness of the woods, and they greet you and escort you back to camp, since it is a bit of a difficult path to remember
Yeah.
exactly how to navigate through, and so the scouts essentially help you back. When you get there, you see this little area that you were in just a few days earlier. There are a few hundred tents that have been set up, and some primitive sort of palisades have been constructed around the area as well to fend off any wildlife or attackers of any sort that might try something. There's been campfires as well, so from a distance you can kind of see the warm glow of this army encampment. As you begin to move in, you see all these soldiers in black uniforms, and you see people from all 5 companies stationed at the Venderthal garrison normally. You make your way in, and you pass by the officer's tent, or the one for the kind of mid-ranked officers, where among the majors primarily that you see there, you detect Major Wimond, and there's something that you notice about it. You see his badge, or his insignia, or whatever you want to call it, is slightly different. It is marked not with the rank of major, but rather the rank of lieutenant colonel. So he has apparently been promoted since you last saw him a few months ago when you left Venderthal.
I see.
You begin to make your way past him, but as you do, you hear his voice call out, and he just says, Sergeant Wiprecht, would you come here for a second?
Aye, aye, sir.
I'm glad to see that you're back, and that all your soldiers made it.
Thank you, sir.
You know, they want to speak with you in the command tent over there, but I think they want to see your soldiers first. Would you come speak with me after you're done in there?
Sure, sir, as you will.
I have some things I want to talk about. Come find me once you're done. But you should probably go with your squadron now.
Will do, sir.
Good. Dismissed. And so you continue, and you see these scouts that are still escorting you take you all the way to another small palisade that has been constructed around a single, large, very sturdy tent. It's like the kind of sweet spot between tent and house.
Building.
Almost.
Yeah.
It has like a solid foundation, and so it's probably supported by some very proper support beams and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so one by one, your soldiers are summoned to come in. You're being made to wait outside. Some time goes by as everybody has to, give their short reports. And they one by one go inside, and when they come out, they just kind of nod at you and then move off to, spend their night at the camp wherever they've been assigned to sleep and get food and whatnot. Eventually, it's just you and Filmar left outside. And Filmar is sent in, comes out, just kind of nods to you, and says, Sergeant, good luck in there, and then heads off. One of the guards guarding this tent comes up to you and says, Sergeant Wiprecht, you are being summoned into the command tent. Please follow me.
Yes, I follow.
Could I have everybody else mute themselves and
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't hear.
if you want to, you can like leave the call or whatever, because this might take a while.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh.
If you
Well
want to,
then.
you
I
can
might
tell
stop.
the two that
Fritz
were
is
very
getting
quick.
spanked or something.
Yep.
I'm
Good
gonna,
luck,
I'm
Fritz.
gonna turn off the video. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Fritz.
Mm-hmm.
Upon stepping into the dim candlelit tent, you are met with a sight of 4 people. Directly ahead of you, leaning over a large table where a map of the Venderthal area has been laid out with multiple notes attached with pins, you see Clarice de la Nuit. Having last seen her well over 3 months prior as you set out to spend some time in the Bluedale garrison, you recognize her very well. However, she looks somewhat different. Large bags are visible under her iconically purple and green eyes, and her hair has grown much longer and is very unkempt and just not taken care of. She looks like a bit of a mess. On the left side of the tent, you see 2 more women, wearing similar black armor to Clarice but lacking the Knightide Brigade insignia, who both stand leaning against one of the wooden support beams of the massive tent. Their faces, both completely identical to one another, share many of Clarice's distinct features, with the only clear visible difference between the two being their hair and choice of weapons. The first one carries an excellent longbow on her back, and has jet black hair that has been cut short on the sides, and with a long hair being tied back in a ponytail, whereas the second of the two has a sheathed rapier at her side and a shield strapped onto her back, with the red dyed hair falling down to her shoulders. Without having met them before, their reputations precede them, and it is therefore no mystery to you that these are the identical twin generals of Belerin's army, Eileen and Arlette de la Nuit. The fourth figure is difficult to see in the dim candlelit tent. The woman stands at least 5 feet behind Clarice, facing away from the tent's entrance where you stand, her hands clasped behind her cloaked back. Judging by her height and posture, there is a strong resemblance between her and the 3 de la Nuit sisters that you have seen in the tent. Clarice is the first one to speak. Sergeant Wiprecht, I believe it is time for your report. Spare me the details. You may leave that for your written account of the events, since I have already heard your squadron's version. So, tell me.
Yes.
What happened to Menderthal?
Do I actually go through it, or do I just...
You may just say that you give a recap of the events.
Yeah, I give a recap of basically everything from when we were pretty scuffed up and when we were saved, quote unquote, by the co-workers, I suppose.
All right.
From that up until
Sure.
we left.
And I am going to assume, since you told your soldiers not to, that you also didn't exclude any important details.
Yes, I do not.
Okay. The tension is high in the tent as you recount your memories of the events that took place in the last few days. Having to give your report with 3 pairs of purple and green eyes fixed on you, with a 4th listener nonchalantly standing in the back, is quite nerve-wracking.
You can imagine.
Eventually, Clarice speaks again. Sergeant, what I understand is that you disobeyed your orders of gathering intel by instead joining forces with a group that, in addition to having garnered the personal vendetta of me and my house, has also been formally declared as enemies of the state for the murder of a nobleman and the attempt on the king's life. Along with these foolish criminals, you directly endangered the entirety of our mission by marching into the heart of the lion's den to strike down the foe that we're all working on defeating together. Am I correct, or am I missing something about your report?
Was I aware that they were declared
No.
enemies of the state.
No, not really, no. You haven't really heard of it. The news never got to you.
Well, I guess Fritz gets a little.
Did I
Well-
miss anything, Sergeant?
I was not aware that they were declared enemies of the state, sir. But yes, I will confess that I disobeyed orders as I saw an opportunity.
And are you aware of the punishments for this kind of disobedience?
Am I?
Sort of, and they're
Yes,
not
I am.
good. They're not very pretty.
Well,
It's a yes or no question. Are you or are you not?
yes, sir.
Very well. I will tell you that I am disappointed, to say the least. However, after careful consideration and consultation with my superiors, I am willing to make an exception. I understand that you may not be aware of the Nighthead Brigade's current standings with your former group. It is not public information after all, and therefore I will not hold that against you. As for you disobeying my orders, I would not normally tolerate such neglectful behavior in one of my soldiers, but since I am a result-focused person, and since you did achieve quite the results, I am once again willing to let you off the hook, on one condition. At this point, one of the twins, the darker-haired archer, moves toward you and speaks. You see, honey, this offer will require your cooperation. You will be expected to keep a secret, more so than any normal secret. The other twin, the red-headed sword wielder, continues. Are you secretive, Sergeant? Are you good at keeping secrets?
Yes, sir, I am.
The twins pace back and forth behind you like two predatory animals waiting for their prey to make a move, walking close enough for their shoulders to brush gently against you as they pass by. You feel one of them whisper into your ear, "That's good, because if you're not..." The other twin then walks up and finishes the sentence, saying, "You will make some mighty powerful enemies." With both twins standing uncomfortably close to you, practically resting their heads on your shoulders, the woman in the back of the tent turns around, and you find yourself looking at yet another face with the distinct features of the House de la Nuit. Again, her identity is no secret to you, as you are in an instant able to confirm that she is without the doubt the eldest of the sister and Field Marshal of Army Group Nightfall, Vernetta de la Nuit. Oh, stop it, both of you. Act like generals for once. The twins both simultaneously burst into a fit of giggles, and the archer responds, "Oh, come on, Vernie. We're just having some fun." The other one then says, "Besides, there ain't no need to act all prim and proper in front of just one soldier." Vernetta then responds by saying, "You represent House de la Nuit, no matter how big nor small the crowds, and I expect you to act appropriately. Your little antics are entertaining, whilst at our manor, but now is not the time nor place, which you should have learned some 30 years ago. I expect there to be no more interruptions from either of you, or you will both be dismissed." The two twins retreat to the support beam where they stood leaned as you entered, shaking their heads in unison, their smug expressions staying locked on their faces. The Field Marshal Vernetta steps into the candlelight, and you now see her purple and green eyes glistering in the warm light. "Sergeant Wiprecht, I am going to reassign you for a special mission on behalf of House de la Nuit. Secrecy is of utmost importance for this task, as you may have already understood. You will be escorted by a special unit of high-ranking members from Army Group Nightfall that will take you across the border to Thromera. You will then continue northwards until you reach a quarry a few days north of Eldorthal. From the moment you set foot on the quarry grounds, your service to the Nighttide Brigade is suspended, and you will instead be serving directly under Major General Krentz of Army Group Nightfall. Your objective on the site will be to ensure that shipments are safely delivered from the quarry back to the capital city on a weekly basis without delay. In addition, you are expected to see to it that the deliveries are unnoticed. Should anyone discover the route taken, you are to eliminate them before the intel can reach the enemy and expose our position. Any hostiles on the route are also expected to be cleared with no survivors. You will continue with this task until you are needed elsewhere, at which point you will immediately make your way to your appointed garrison. You take orders only from myself, the Generals Eileen and Arlette, and Major General Krentz. Orders coming from any other source are to be ignored. For the time being, you are excluded from the chain of command, with only the four aforementioned with the only four aforementioned exceptions being your superiors. Refuse this offer of redemption, and you alongside with your squadron will be punished accordingly for insubordination and treason. If, however, you accept, you have my word that a lucrative reward awaits you and for your diligent service to House de la Nuit. You will be promoted to lieutenant upon your return, and both Private Filmar and Private Kreia will be promoted to sergeants of their own squadrons. Now, are you going to choose to accept this offer, or deny it, Sergeant?
I will accept, sir.
Good. Now, do you have any more questions?
No, sir.
Very well. You are dismissed.
I salute and make my way out.
As you're walking out, you hear her speak again. Oh, and Sergeant Wiprecht, know that your service to House de la Nuit will be remembered. You have chosen wisely to serve us. In these uncertain times, only one thing stands clear. House de la Nuit is, and will remain, mighty as ever. Now, you are dismissed.
I re-salute and leave again.
Right. You exit the tent.
Yeah.
And outside you find a group wearing the badges of Army Group Nightfall, standing there and waiting for you. One of them takes a step closer to you and says, Sergeant Fritz Wiprecht, I understand.
I nod.
It's good to meet you. We are going to be the ones escorting you across the border up to the quarry. Now, before you leave, is there anyone you would like to say goodbye to before then? If so, feel free to do so and simply return here once you're ready to leave. We intend to set out tonight, if at all possible.
Yes, I would like to address my squad.
Very well,
Otherwise,
you know where to find us.
Yes, so I do that, and then I will. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll basically tell the squad I'm being reassigned, and then I'll go to the escort people.
Okay, do you want to go see women before? Since he asked to see you.
Oh yeah, right. Yes.
Okay, so you talk to your squad. Filmar kind of takes a moment and says, well, Sergeant, it's been a pleasure having you as my officer, and I hope that perhaps one day we can work together again.
Thank you, Filma. It has been an honor commanding you. Is that what you would say?
That will do.
Well, you are all fine soldiers. You will do excellent in the brigade, even without me.
They all kind of nod and look at each other, look to you. And there's this resounding salute that goes through the entire group as they take farewell. And you head out to look for women then.
Yes.
So you return to the Major's tent. But you don't see women there. However, upon noticing you, Major Havard of the Ghost Company, a massively tall orc man, tells you that Women left the campsite and is outside to the south, that you should be able to find him there.
Okay, I'll make my way.
Yeah. You go there and it's easy enough to find him. There's like a path that you can go on, and eventually you find him sitting there in a bit of a clearing. There's some of the late twilight, the twilight hours of the sunlight that is still slipping through the canopy in this little like clearing, and you see him sitting there on quite a big rock, just kind of looking out into the darkness. And as you approach, he kind of hears you and signals for you to sit down next to him. Well, Sergeant Fritz, I would like to begin this by saying that I would like to have this conversation from man to man rather than superior to soldier. So you're relieved of using any titles or ranks. Simply call me Women or Jove or whatever you want.
I understand.
You spoke with the sisters, I understand.
I did so. Oh, the women.
Right. Got a new assignment?
I did.
What is it?
Well, I'm just being suspended, really. I'm being transferred.
Any idea of what it is you're supposed to be doing?
Not really. They told me I would be briefed once I arrive.
But where are you headed?
Unclear.
Are you
They
trying?
just said it.
You were told where you were going, sort of.
Well, is it okay for me to say that?
That's up to you.
Can I say? Wait, which direction is it from here? Like
North.
southeast?
Pretty much directly up north.
Okay. Well, north, but not quite sure on that either.
Right. Well, so it's not back to Bluedale, I guess.
Doesn't seem to be so, no.
Well, I don't know why I really wanted to talk. I guess I just had some concerns. Things have been happening with the brigade lately, and I guess I wanted to say that you were always the one I liked the most out of your little group. Back when you were still with the co-workers. You're a good soldier, Fritz, don't forget that.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Life in the army has been good to me.
I'm glad that you think so. I'm just a bit worried about the future, I guess. But things might turn out better than we think.
Is there a problem, sir, or women?
I don't know. I guess the next few days will be quite telling if there is or not. All I know is that there have been some things that have been shaken up within the brigade that I am not very fond of. But I'm not supposed to give my opinion on it, so I will leave it at that. I got a promotion, though, so that's something for my part. But
Yeah,
apart from that...
I saw your new badge.
Yeah, I'm in charge
Congratulations.
of the entire... Thank you. I'm in charge of the entire Venderthal garrison now. It's quite the task, and preparing for it for a while, but now I'm a bit confused about it. I think I should be heading back to camp, and you probably have your assignment to take care of as well. I don't want to keep you here longer than is necessary. You should get going, I think.
Yeah, sure.
If we see each other again before you leave, I suppose I will have to say that the titles are back in place, and I will be your superior again.
Yes, sir.
Chain of command and all that. Alright. Let's head back. And he gets up. He also looks kind of tired, much like Clarice did.
Right.
The others look like they used to, though. Or, well, you don't know what the other Delannoy sisters normally look like, but
Yeah,
they
don't look tired.
No, they look quite energized. Especially the twins look a bit too hyped up for stuff.
Yeah, a bit over enthusiastic.
You could say that. In that case, I'm going to call the others back into the call, unless there's anything else you would like to do before then.
I mean, I guess Fritz is... I mean, he would be, slightly... not suspicious, but, obviously there's something going on. I mean, he's not going to put too much thought on it, but he's just going to be like... kind of like, yeah.
You'll have plenty of time to think now that you're going to be on the road for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to call the others back in. There we go. Two quick ones. Let's see about the last two.
I'm always quick.
There we go.
I have
Now
a trusty
we're on the
sidekick to
one.
give me a heads up.
Oh, okay.
Rather.
Just waiting for Leon.
Either versus or the service.
Oh,
How long did that take?
I have no idea.
A while.
Probably like 10 minutes-ish. A little bit more. I don't know.
20, I guess.
Really that much.
Around 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, checks out. So where's Leon?
Yeah, you're... Call him...
Oh, there
hello.
we go.
Oh,
Nice.
never mind.
Alright, so with that out of the way, I think what's most appropriate next is I think we'll do Arisa and Dara next.
Yay!
And
Alright.
then we will... No, you know what? We'll do it the other way around. So Storm and Tazio.
Alright.
Yeah.
How much more are you planning to do this day?
That and then start heading.
Because you gathered what you're planning to take with you. You have taken care of some of it.
Yep.
You're basically at the point where you're ready to leave. At this point,
Yep.
you probably don't have much left of the day to travel, and you're feeling pretty exhausted from all the stuff.
We did take one short rest.
Right, but it's also taken a while to do the,
But can
labor related to some of it.
Okay,
I-
so...
but can I polymorph into a? If I would polymorph into something, would that make us be able to travel for a bit? Or
If you speed up the process with the thing we talked about,
yeah,
then I mean we could probably, unless you want to keep this a secret from the others, we can talk openly about it. It's up to you.
Like leaving, you mean?
No, like the thing that you're doing before you leave.
Oh yeah, that really doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't really matter for me either.
No.
Because kind of for the viewers' sake, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you're gonna bury the treasure, if you want to polymorph into something that is good at digging, that will save you time, and you will be able to start travel properly. Otherwise, you'd probably only get an hour or two of travel.
Okay, and if I don't do that, I just polymorph into like a
Right.
big eagle.
Yeah, I would say
flies
digging.
away.
Digging
I'm
would be better.
guessing you would save time by digging and...
Yeah. Then I would be like a giant
Yeah.
badger or something.
Sure. So you are able to quickly dig a hole in the matter of a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes or so.
Nice.
That is more than enough to conceal the gold that you're planning to leave.
Let me do a really detailed map.
So you are doing what you're leaving 130
30 box.
Yep.
and then bringing 50.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So you bury 130 bars in the matter of like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you're ready to start traveling. So you make your way away from the city.
Yeah.
As you are traveling, what is your plan for, traveling pace and such things?
I would say normal pace.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, in that case, you begin making your journey up north until about 4 days or so have gone by. Let me just quickly get my notes up. So, you make your way past the kind of intersection that leads to Bluedale, and then on the next day, as you're about halfway through your traveling of that day, you come upon this small village, or it's like an average-sized village, a population of maybe a couple of hundred people. You see that it is the village itself is called Stillwood.
Okay.
At first, you're planning to just kind of like pick up some quick resources, like some food for the day, and then continue traveling.
Yeah.
But Storm, before you kind of like when you reach the tavern, which is called the Distilled Wood Tavern.
Yeah.
You hear some noise coming from within this place. You listen. You recognize these voices.
Oh, do I?
Oh.
You must have
Oh,
finally caught up to
interesting.
them.
Nice.
So there are some very familiar voices from within. I assume you go inside.
I bash up the door and say, "Captain Storm at your service."
Okay, so you see a very familiar Lizardfolk woman stood by the bar, has kind of slammed the dagger into the counter, and is saying, "You are going to give me your finest rum right now, or this dagger." Storm, my boy! And everybody, all these pirates that are gathered in this tavern immediately turn, and there's just this resounding cheer. The regular patrons of this place are terrified, not knowing what is going on, seeing more people come in now. They're all kind of like getting up, and you see them, all of them at once coming for you, like giving you hugs. They're pulling you in. Some of them just like, one of them instantly just pushes a bottle of rum in your hand. And you don't even know who's doing what anymore. You're just like shoved around, and eventually, things settle down a bit, and your mother is the one standing in front of you, her hands kind of on your shoulders, and just looks at you. You've done well for yourself, I see. I mean, except for the fact that, where's the stupid lizard? Tornado! And you see now Tornado just comes flying straight for you, just like hugs your face and just starts like licking you. He found us when we were up in Port Liberian, up north. It's been a long journey to make our way all the way down here, but what wouldn't I do for my boy when he's in trouble, especially if you lose your best friend, huh?
Indeed,
Not
indeed.
like you to lose that little thing. In a way, I'm disappointed that you did, but you're still alive. We were just blindly following Tornado, hoping that he would lead us to him. No idea where you were or anything. But seems like you found us. So,
leading to the place where I was sentenced to Bluedale Mines.
oh, you
But I
ended
returned.
up under the black spot of someone, I see.
Indeed, indeed.
Now, who would you anger who'd send you to the Bluedale Mines?
The king. I killed one of his friends, I guess.
Oh, and like all of them just like ooh,
damn.
sound that just like echoes through the entire group. Like the normal
Of
people of
course.
this village are still absolutely mortified just hearing you speak about like killing the king's men and stuff. They have no idea
shit.
what is going on. The bar owner at this point has like pulled the dagger out of the like disc and is just like hiding it, afraid that he's going to get stabbed, but then he realized that if he gets accused of stealing it, it gets worse, so he just like puts it back and like tries to sneak away. Like the entire group, they're just like cheering and they want to hear everything that you have to say. Also, they apparently brought a big supply of rum somehow, since you know they still have some. That
Of course.
for the first time in quite a while, you're able to get some that is of
Indeed.
good quality as well. You know, this is the stuff you're used to. You like.
Yeah, I recap that Bluedale Mines, and then that we return, of course,
Right.
to Venderthal, and we saw through a coworker that they were heading for Venderthal.
Right.
And this is my coworker Tazio.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tazio's just been standing like
Yeah.
awkwardly
Yeah, exactly.
behind
Yeah.
him. Nobody pays any attention to him. And then like when you address him, they're all like and instantly you just hear a sea of voices. Like all these, what would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Like they have a presence so much bigger than 6 people. But it seems like an entire crew that is in here, but it's really just like a relatively small crowd, except that there's also an extra lizard. You see, Tornado isn't the only flying lizard. There's another one that is very similar to him, and there is a parrot, a very like beautifully colored parrot that is just like screeching and doing like just swearing and all kinds of things. I guess I will just describe what you even see here. You see a Lizardfolk, similar to Storm, albeit a bit different. Storm has more of like a bit dragon-like features, whereas this woman is just like a full-on Lizardfolk, dressed more like a kind of pirate captain, the way you would expect, but also mixed with more of like regular traveling clothes. Isn't wearing the big hat that you would expect, but you know, probably left that one on the ship.
Fuck,
You also see another lizard folk, a younger one, probably around the same age as Storm. Storm, you actually see that Dovey, the lizard folk crewmate of yours.
Of course.
She actually has a gun strapped to her belt.
Oh shit!
She didn't have last time.
New
then
stuff.
you also see a brass-colored dragonborn. Who Storm, you know that is Rust.
Yep.
Rust Silver Greybeard? No, but
No.
Rust is. There is a big minotaur. That looks very like, kind of like the stereotypical minotaur, you know, that people get the idea that, you know, they're fighters and these big, you know, strong people. Definitely lives up to that reputation.
Okay, yeah.
next to him, you see a really short, like less than 5 foot tall, bird-like man. Or, I mean, it's probably a man, but like you have never seen anyone like this before, so you can't even be certain. Also, this person just makes a bunch of noise that is a mix of voices and sounds and all kinds of things. That is also the one that has the parrot on his kind of like winged shoulder. And lastly, there's another Lizardfolk as well, who is Ether Belt for your context, Storm.
Okay.
No.
And he has an accordion strapped to his back. And they all kind of try to present themselves to you at the same time. You don't really manage to snap up a lot of names, but you're just like, yeah, okay.
Pleasure to meet you.
Not really sure how to act around these people. You see that the lizard folk with the accordion just like puts another bottle of rum in your hands and is like, "Drink up, boy," and slaps you in the back of the head.
Yeah, I will drink up.
All right.
I know. It's not that strong for me, because I am not Tiefling.
Right. Oh yeah, right.
Sure.
I want that demon blood, or what it was called.
You have poison resistance?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Of course.
but yeah, they are all super enthusiastic to hear the stories. Eventually, Hurricane, I suppose, since
Yep.
yeah,
Exactly.
would be turning to you, Tazio, and say, "So, is it true that which my son tells me? All this happened?"
He over-exaggerates a little bit, but mostly true.
They laugh, and she just says, "Well, ain't that the job of a true pirate?"
Of course.
Well, I mean, what more can I say? There's so much. We've been busy for a while, but now we've had to travel to find you. Are you coming back? Are you done with your adventures?
We've just did the frickin' biggest heist in the whole Dawn world.
The biggest
We're
heist.
You want to show
about
them?
to buy an island.
Do we really have to buy the island? We can just take it, right?
We take the island, of course.
Is it a
Then
bigger heist than we pulled off when we robbed an entire Drixonian convoy?
Come here. 180 platinum bars from the Venderthal vault.
How big are these?
Worth approximately 5,000 gold per bar.
She kind of looks around.
In before they steal it.
That's my lad. Now come here! And she just like throws herself over the table and just pulls you into a tight hug. Just goes and pulls out another bottle of rum. You know that this is like the finest rum that you can find pretty much. And she just like uncorks that with another like scimitar that she has in her belt. Just like hits the entire glass top of it off, and then just like kind of pours some down her throat, pours some down yours, and then just
Party all night.
puts it into your hand, and from there on, it's
Accordion
basically
playing and everything.
partying. They basically
Indeed.
managed to run everybody else out of the tavern,
Nice.
leaving only you two and the crew. There's a lot of accordion playing, which is he's very skilled. You realize, Tazio. By the end of the night, you kind of manage to figure out what everybody's names are. You have Hurricane, which is Storm's mom. You have her lizard, who's called Blizzard. Blizzard, whatever. There is a dragon, or the dragonborn is called Rust. The big minotaur is called Grifford, who, by the way, challenges you to a fist fight on a few occasions, which I assume you politely decline.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if you ever want to fight, just go for a friendly round or two. Then come to me. You know, I've beaten Storm many times. Ain't that right, Storm?
Sadly.
But some you seem to be a bit faster these days. I see it on you. You'll never be
I'll
as strong
take you one
as
day.
me.
I'll take you
never
one day.
beat me in arm wrestling. That's for certain.
That might be true.
You know, I got a solid 1.5 feet on you in terms of height, at least.
But in a sword fight, you know who wins.
Well, you know that I'm not much of a sword man, anyway.
I guess.
In an axe fight, I'll beat you.
Yep.
And
but
a
in
hammer fight.
But in a card game, I'll beat you.
You know what they say, old brawn's no brain.
Good saying.
You have a moment with your mother as well, again, like more in private, where she talks to you in a drunken state, tells you how much she has missed you, but how proud she is that you continue to carve your own path. Also, kind of tries to make a quick remark that maybe, you know, if you are interested in coming back, they could, you know, you should probably get married to preferably Dovey.
Yep, nope.
Just, you know,
love.
just like throws that in there. It's like, well, you know, Dovey still doesn't have a boyfriend.
And I'm still not believing in love. You know that.
I have so much black.
You will one day, Storm. You will.
I won't. Love is the worst mistake you could have done. You and everyone else. You should have seen our other two co-workers.
What?
They don't love each other. They're crazy.
Something.
Well,
you were in love with someone.
As much as I'd like to say that I regret the relationship I had with your father, I can't say that I fully regret it, because I wouldn't have you around if I didn't.
I guess, but I'm not interested.
And think about it. 20 years down the line, you'll have your own little Lizardfolk child with Dovey.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
I've seen how you look at her. I know things like that. My motherly instincts tell me that it's true. I can sense things like it, Storm.
Do you think Gifford will have a mate? I doubt that.
You have any idea how many children that man
Do you
has?
think Feng?
Well, I think he has a chance. He just needs to...
He's a crow!
Don't be so rude.
He will be with this little parrot. And so will I with my little lizard.
Oh, you won't,
Joy.
Storm, trust me. One day you will realize. And if nothing else, then at least you can just, you know, get a kid or two and then come pick them up when they're of age to join the crew. That works too.
We'll see what happens. Nothing now.
We'll see, but I have seen how you and Dovey look at each other.
No.
Just you wait. One day you will tell me I was right.
Tazio, you see that Lizardfolk girl over there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can take her if you want.
I'm not really into scales.
What?
No
It's
offense.
the sexiest. But I'm not interested.
Didn't Dara told me that you were in love with Clarice, though.
Storm, what is this? Who is this?
I am not
Clarice
in love
lady?
with anyone. She hates me. I'm
And
the black
by
spot
the way, Tazio,
Yes.
don't worry, I don't think Dovey's into horns, so
Yeah.
the two of you are not a
It's
match made. in the
I
celestial
understand
realms.
that.
Where did Dovey get her boomstick, by the way?
We picked it off of a ship.
Hmm.
I don't know what it was really. Seemed interesting. Had some sort of merchant type of ship. She managed to pick it off of one of the people. Also, it will come in handy, as we've heard that a certain rival of ours, if you know who I mean, has also picked up a number of these.
No.
Sadly, a few more than us.
Oh, great.
I hear that he robbed an entire convoy for them. Luckily, the ship sunk before he could take them all. Don't know where they're coming from still, but there seems to be an influx of these. Did I just use the word influx? I don't think I've ever done so in my entire life.
Yeah, I've not seen anything of him either, so...
Well, I'm glad. At least you've only really been hanging around the River Red and all, so he doesn't really stay in those territories.
Of course. They don't want to take that path, usually.
That is true. It's difficult to traverse the River Red. With a ship like ours, it's not really made for going up streams. So how long are you planning to stay, anyway?
Stay where?
Well, with us. Just tonight, or...
You're going north, aren't you?
Well, now that we found you, I suppose we are.
Back to the ship. Where's the ship?
We left it in Maelstrom. Was the closest we could get.
Yeah, I think we're heading Taz. Are we heading up to El Dorthal? Or where
I
we going?
believe so. Well, I think that we could take another route. I believe that city isn't that small. So I think they have the materials we need.
So we're going to Etoral or Hartdorf.
Well, Half-Dorth is on the way. Or either... we have to go through that. I mean, we can go... It's your choice if you want to go to Maelstrom or Eldorf, though.
Well, then we'll go to Maelstrom, I guess. Because I like the coast.
Well, would be nice
so
to...
do I.
I'm sure that the rest of the lads of the Weather Eye would be glad to say hi to their favorite seafaring... second favorite seafaring lizard.
Who's the favorite?
Well, me, of course. Who else?
You're too big of an ego. I am.
Says who?
I am the favorite.
I'm pretty sure some of them favor Dovey at this point, since she's been away for a while.
I have...
They cannot.
Oof.
She's using boomsticks. You use real sword, like real men.
Don't tell me you wouldn't want one if I gave one to you.
No, I would not. Yeah, I'm lying. Definitely.
Well, I wanted to give her the motherly advantage.
Natural one.
She gets motherly advantage for being your mom.
Storm is a mama's boy.
That is still a terrible roll. That was 4 and an 8, but she's able to see through you. See, I can tell. I can read you like an open book. Just the way I can when I see you looking at Dovey.
Some things perhaps, but other things definitely not. So we'll be heading, and I want to see my crew.
We'll talk about this Clarice on the road as well. I want to know what that is all about.
I even heard that he gave her flowers once.
That was a gift, because...
You never gave Dovey flowers. It's time for you to become a real gentleman.
That was the last time I gave someone flowers. Never again.
Well, obviously the first and the last, because I can't remember a single time you gave me flowers for Mother's Day.
You get cool stuff from flowers.
That is true. I wouldn't like them anyway. I'd probably eat them.
Yeah. You eat them? Where we're from?
Well, depends on what flowers. You know, in the
Sunflowers?
lands of the Sharamuri, well, sunflowers are nice. Not that we have them where I'm from, but you know, in the lands of the Sharamuri, we would eat some flowers that would grow on trees and such. They could be quite filled with nutrition. Didn't taste very well. That's probably part of why I left. But all those things.
You left only because of the flower eating.
No, no.
Greed, of course.
What is a woman supposed to waste away in a little swamp village? Didn't think so.
Definitely not.
There's fortune to be made.
Indeed.
Booty to collect.
Indeed.
And even the booty of your father.
No. No. No.
Well, not anymore.
Exactly. Are you trying to... You're not going after another one, I hope to...
Storm. Of
No.
course not. I made a mistake once.
Ah, great. So you're telling me to make that mistake and you can...
No, I'm just saying that maybe the once I retire, who do you think that the weather I will go to?
The one they like most on the entire ship?
Yes, so either you or Dovey.
Nah!
And so if it is you, then who's
I
gonna
will
get
have
it
my
after
own
you?
ship. I will have my own ship.
Storm,
Not
didn't you see that you
whether
were
I...
captain?
Yes, I am the captain.
Captain.
I am Captain Storm.
Captain of what? The little
Whether
boat
I-
that we used to go to land with? You can be captain of that, I suppose. Nobody else has claimed it.
Great, then I'll be that.
But you're not the captain, I'm the captain.
Can
I
make
will be your captain one day, you will see.
Oh yes, probably, unless I give the ship to Dovey.
I was so close being a captain. I fought this one man in the Night Tide Brigade, if you've ever heard of it. That's the Clarice is the leader. And I fought the captain or the major. And if I won, I would have become the captain of the Night Tide Brigade. It was an intense duel, but he
Aren't
cheated.
you like, oh,
He
and
cheated,
you-
and he won by stabbing me in the arm. What a foul major. No captain would do that.
That man cannot have been a very particularly good fighter, or else you've improved quite a bit, because I've seen your duels with Grifford.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's intense.
Storm is quite a formidable fighter, but Griffith has given him more beatings than I can even remember, so...
He's lucky
It's okay,
every
my
time.
lad.
He's lucky every time.
You will
Yes,
soon
and you accuse him of cheating every other time.
With pirates too, I guess.
Mhm. Can I make an insight check to see if Storm, like, isn't interested in Dova?
Dovey.
Oh, Dova.
Sure.
I mean, like,
Storm, you can make a roll, and then depending on if you're being honest or not, you can just tell him if he succeeds. You know
Sure.
the rules. Just don't
Yeah.
tell him.
inside.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, they want all the information. Wait, insight is...
I made my class feature, so I rerolled.
What did you roll?
21.
Okay, I wouldn't say Storm would hate her like he's like doing. He might have some feelings as a friend, and but when the mother says like, "Oh, she will take over the ship," then he's real pissed. No other lizard takes Storm's place. So
So he has no love interest in
no
her.
love interest.
Not as far as you
You
can
have-
tell, anyway.
Nope.
What a shame.
Nice.
All right. So, unless you want to talk about something else specifically,
No,
we're gonna wrap this up and call that a night.
indeed.
And so we are going to move quickly over to Arisa and Dara.
How
As
lovely.
you are making your way out of Venderthal, since we did wrap up your business there before.
Yes.
Where are you headed next?
Well, first off, Mistvale, of course.
Right.
Yes, we would be heading towards Misfits.
Okay. So you're both going there together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
About your... Okay, so first of all, I'll ask you this. Are you both gonna stay the night in Venderthal first and then go the next day? Because you
Yeah,
only
that would
have
probably be a
maximum
good
of
idea.
half a day. Okay.
Let's do that.
So you spend the night, and then the next day you set out, headed west. Towards the end of the first day of traveling, there is something strange that you notice.
I would like to say something about travel method.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what shape do you take when you travel?
As I'm traveling with with Dara, I would first refer to Dara and ask whether or not she would prefer to go by land or by air, as air would be quicker.
I mean, let's go by air then, if that's possible.
Then we would probably go and be flying, or she would probably be riding on a giant eagle.
Okay.
We're like checking that. Just for your own information, I would be keeping an eye on the roads. We would still be following the roads.
Right.
And giant eagles can see very quite far.
Yeah. So you're staying close enough to keep an eye on, or like close enough to the ground to keep an eye on the roads.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a good way to indicate where to go.
Yeah, it's a good way to indicate where to go. Plus, we are traveling. Like, this is one of the first times we're traveling by air together. So like I'm making sure everything, and with the patrols and everything, speed is not the.
You cut
I
out
think
there.
you cut out there.
Speed is not the.
Internet died.
Oh, that could happen.
I have to go kinda though, because I have to be at over to eat some dinner with others. Because 18 was the.
Right, I've missed, or I've lost track of time. Otherwise, I would have. How much time do you have? Like, how?
Not much time. Kinda. Not like 5 minutes.
Okay, well, we'll have to save that for the next
Save
time.
what?
No, I had one more thing for you guys. I just didn't want to do a long thing. That kind of sucks, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, you can go with the Dara and the Arisa thing, right?
I don't have any.
You can recap that at least.
Oh, you're back.
Well, let me leave and join real quick, and I will see
Well,
if I can't get everything back.
what?
You can do the Dara and Arisa thing now, and I'll listen to it on the.
Well, that
stream
wasn't the
recording.
thing. It was one more thing for Taz and Storm.
Oh, okay.
How long does it take though?
No,
Might take
like
more than 5 minutes.
Okay.
yeah. Can we do
So,
it
well,
or solo, or do we do it on a real stream?
No, we'll have to do it on the solo thing.
Okay.
Yeah, if it
Which kind of
takes too
sucks
long,
because I wanted everybody to hear it, but whatever. It's
Fuck.
can't really do anything. It's my fault. I should have managed time better.
No problem.
All
See
right.
you, lads.
See you.
Yeah.
Good session.
Yeet.
Yeet.
eat on that one. Now we have to fix the overlay
Yeah, just a second, like that.
and wait for. Now we just have to wait for Arisa to come back, or Snoff, or depending on which version you're familiar in the stream. So
And everything seems to be working now, except
all
for
right.
So.
Why did one of us leave?
Someone had to leave, and I mismanaged time, so now we're not going to be able to finish the stuff that he was going to do. But that's my fault. I should have sped things along a bit more.
Sorry, my internet just shut
No,
itself.
it's not that problem. He had to leave in like 5 minutes, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Well, in that case, let's just get going with us.
Yep.
So, the two of you, you're traveling, and yeah, you. Sorry, I just had to like replan things in my head so that everything is nice and structured. Thoughts. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Okay, I got thrown off track from that, but I'm back. So, you travel, and on the like, what did I say? First or second day?
End of the second day, I think it was.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, the like second half of the second day, I guess we'll go with that. It doesn't really matter then. Arisa, you're the first to spot this, as you have a good perception in the form of an eagle, and Dara wouldn't really have the same kind of way to look at the road. Arisa, you see a group come traveling in the opposite direction of you, kind of heading towards the Venderthal area. They, from a distance, are all these like dark-clad figures in these black or grey robes. They have 2 carts drawn by 2 horses each that are these like closed carriages, so you're not able to like see into them.
Would I recognize these robes in any way?
They just seem like plain black robes from as far as you can tell. However, the moment you see them, you feel a sudden lurch deep in your gut. There's this negative push away from them that is, you're pretty sure this is the most powerful.
I instantly start to climb as quickly as I can.
You're pretty sure that this is the most powerful interaction that you've ever experienced. Like it almost physically hurts you.
Yeah. So I instantly go for a straight up as high as I can.
Right.
For the first moment, it's almost forgetting that I'm even having somebody mounted, but then realizing this, and it takes a slightly less steep climb.
So Dara, you're kind of sitting there just relaxing, expecting nothing to happen, and then all of a sudden you're almost like flung off. Like last second, you're able to like grab onto some of the feathers, almost like pulling some out in the process.
Harassing your wife, what the fuck?
Which one of us is harassing who?
Yeah, like what is this marriage, man? Like
dysfunctional.
Like
one-sided.
So both work. Do you want to do anything, or do you continue just flying?
How far up can I be? How far up would I estimate I can still see, like, roughly as just a blob on the map? Could I be up, but still it'll be safe?
I mean, you could,
like, just as a mass of people, kind of.
You could be pretty high up. Like, I can't give you an exact measurements or anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I don't require that. It's just, can I be quite like high enough that it wouldn't really be noticed? I could just as well be a normal eagle.
Yeah, you can do that.
I would like to soar around a bit and kind of tilt myself so it's more obvious that there's something down there.
Okay.
And like kind of roughly indicate, and then wait a moment and kind of circle nearby and trying to be kind of natural, figuring out if they're actually heading towards Venderthal.
Okay.
Unless Dara interacts anything different.
This part of the road, it's kind of like straightforward, pretty much. Like there isn't really any major intersection nearby that could take them anywhere else, unless they started heading like.
Are we? You said we were heading like you said it was the second day, right?
Yeah, so you've like crossed the Red River pretty much. But you're
Okay.
like I'd
Are
say
we
that
up
this is.
nearby Stormwick then?
I mean, you're still closer to
Stormwick.
Venderthal than Stromwick.
So before the crossroad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have pretty much passed the crossroads. You don't know if they're coming from east or the west. But they're headed towards the general Stromwick area.
As I try to indicate slightly downwards, I'm expecting that Dara doesn't really have an interaction.
Dara struggles to see because it's the middle of the day.
Yeah. Besides, it's massively down there.
Well,
I feel like Dara is on the top of the eagle, passed out, like, why is the sun over?
yeah, the best traveling method.
Wait, depending on how,
close
like,
as
just with
to the
the
sun.
yeah, also the change in altitude that quickly probably lost a bit of oxygen.
Dara's probably set up a small little like tent thing for herself so that she can like read in darkness, like a small box of cloth to.
I go on solid snake style with a cardboard box over me.
Yeah.
You dropped it when she rose up.
But is this in the beginning or the second half of the day?
Like
Second half. Is that?
it is. It is kind of in the middle of the day, I'd say, rather
It's
than.
in the middle. So because you know
Yeah.
now I can do a total of 4.5. Math do well. 4.5. Yes, I was right.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like midway through the day, but you're like just past the intersection, or they are just past the intersection. You are heading towards the intersection, and we'll be there shortly. Is there anything else you want to do before this?
I'm gonna quickly. Arisa, call 1 for yes, call 1, call 2 for no. Are we being attacked?
Arisa?
Did it happen again?
Oh.
Yeah, it says that.
Oh, okay.
You should
Uh,
I think that's probably all that is gonna happen there, I guess, then.
well, if that's the case, I'm going to send out. Florp is going to be
Okay.
invisible, going there and just try to find out, and then we go on, and eventually Florp is going to come back. Eventually.
Good, you got my message.
Yeah, so Dara sends out Florp to take a closer look while being invisible in the imp form. Okay, make a perception check through Florp.
All right, hold on. I'm just gonna take up Florp's stats.
The session is just falling apart with like Simon leaving and
Yeah. And now my internet somehow just
every other minute
committing seppuku.
Okay.
I just seeing both stream, Discord, everything. I've now closed down parts of the stream as well. But even so, it's just full on cuts off.
That's a 6.
I mean, you're kind of careful not to get Florp to go too close, and besides, like you're still trying to like focus while feeling the wind, and it's a bit too distracting. You still have some adrenaline going from that sudden rise that Arisa did. You're not really able to get anything more. What is his passive perception, I guess?
His passive. Let me take a quick look. His passive is 11.
11. I'd say you're able to make out 13 figures among them, all in these black robes. But apart from that, not much really, no. So, unless there's anything else, we are going to just end that thing there.
Yeah, I'm assuming we got basically the emblems, or roughly something indicating what them? I missed the beginning. Like
No, like they're
we got
not.
nothing.
They
Okay,
have no symbols. They have plain black
that
and
is
gray
enough.
robes.
Thank you.
There's like
That's...
nothing else that you can distinguish.
At least
Okay.
not with our check.
All right. Well, then yeah, we'll probably continue then.
Lastly, I am going to run the thing I wanted Simon to be here for. I don't think it will be too big of a deal. So Tazio, you'll just get a bit of a solo thingy then.
Ooh.
That's gonna be like the last thing.
Tazio, it's
So,
your time to shine.
Oh.
Tazio.
Yeah, that is it.
I need to do some really quick maths here.
Quick match.
That'll be 3, 4, 5. Okay, so about 3 days after you met up with the crew of the Weather Eye, the lads of the Weather Eye, as they refer to themselves, and you're still traveling with them.
Yeah.
You're continuing up north.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to notice some things. You know, your traveling is a lot of like walking through wilderness, but a lot of it is also like walking through some smaller villages here and there, like settlements on the side of the road or that the road goes through. And you kind of notice in like a settlement on this like third day after meeting up with them that there's like a very weird atmosphere in this village. Like people are awfully gloomy and there's just like this sadness hanging over the village. But you don't think too much of it. Like you've seen some villages struggle in the past, and so you kind of ignore it and you move on to the next one. Or you continue down the road. But the next village that you find is the same, really.
Okay.
And you continue to the third village, and at this point, seeing the same gloomy, dark atmosphere among these people, now it's really starting to, you know, feel like something is off. Do you want to do anything as you're riding through?
Like, what do you mean with doing?
I don't know. Do you just ignore it and keep moving, or do you?
I will probably like just ask someone why everyone is so like sad and just
Alright.
gray.
As you're kind of riding through like the main road, and you're noticing how the village has this weird atmosphere, you just kind of stop and ask this. There's this one like soldier who's just standing on the side of the road, or he's like he's crossing the road, and you just stop him and you ask like, hey, what is going on? The man, he seems like he's in his 30s or something, has a bit of like a veteran's air to him. Just looks at you and says, well, it's not easy to be in a good mood when we're marching out to the front lines.
I guessed it. Ooh. Maybe.
Setting out later today.
So that's why everyone's sad then.
Well, messengers came just earlier today. Told us that Thrumera's been sending troops into Lironia in some sort of allied deal, and they're deploying along the Belaronian border over there as well, and here. So headed north, we're being deployed to defend in case war breaks out.
So I guess it's because of Isidore?
I don't know, I heard some rumors about the capital being in trouble. Seems like Thrumera's looking to capitalize on it.
They are currently taking it back right now.
I fear that might be too late. Thrumera seems to already know about it. They mobilized quite a few troops, and now we are being sent there as well.
Well, I can only wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I want to get going. My nephew's birthday's coming up next week, and so I want to give him a birthday present before I'm shipped out. Something for him to remember me by.
I give him like 5 gold pieces.
Takes it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just hoping that we don't break the front lines before reinforcement arrives. He starts walking off. And with that, we are going to end this session with some bad omens on different fronts. And yeah, we're gonna have to schedule some private sessions, as we've been talking about in private. For the next time you will see the coworkers will be in a special YouTube episode that is coming up at some point before the next session, hopefully. That will be a kind of episode, what would it be, 42.5, I guess.
With all
I will talk to my players in smaller groups or alone, depending on. And then in the next stream session, hopefully in a week or so, about 3 to 4 months will have passed in the actual Dawn world. And in that time, a lot of things are going to happen, as I'm sure you are beginning to realize. So we have quite a lot of spicy stuff ahead of us, with omens of war and other strange things happening. We'll see where this journey takes us next, but this is definitely the next chapter of the co-workers' journey. So I don't have much else to say. So I guess that is where we're going to stop the stream. And
thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah.
And I hope to see you guys next time. Sorry for all the trouble we had this time.
the later part of it was a bit scuffed, but at least we got Fritz's microphone fixed in
That's
time,
right.
in time for the big solo thing.
Yeah, the universe had to cancel out all the progress we made on my mic to just completely butcher the second half. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We can hear you now.
Everything has
Yes.
We can hear Fritz, we can't hear Arisa.
Well, that's probably for the best.
The stream gods giveth, the stream gods taketh away.
Perfectly balanced. That's all things should be.
That's all things should be indeed. And with that, one more time, thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out the YouTube channel to know what the coworkers are going to be up to for the next 3 to 4 months before they, perhaps by the will of destiny, meet up again to continue their adventures. So, until then, have a good one.
See ya.
See ya.